All right, ladies and gents, boys and girls. Hopefully y'all have recovered. Hopefully y'all are excited about the new additions. But either way, we're here to break it down for you. Of course, we talking about the panel tonight. I'm Arthur Moats, just a guy that happens to know a lot of cool people. Nothing important else about me to know. But we are joined right now by the two rock stars of the panel. Shout out to anybody that has tuned in over the weekend. You've seen updates on the division. You've seen updates on the picks. And it's these two awesome people right here. We got to start off with the doctor. Talking about Dr. TaNeisha from At Really Flawed. You know, the one with the PhD? Yeah, shout out to her breaking everything down, especially on the AFC North, keeping us updated. Now, after that, you see the Emmy Award winning dude over there because he got the Emmy Award literally behind him. It's right there on the shoulder, all right? You saw it in every breakdown video. It was gorgeous. But I'm talking about the WRAL Channel 5 producer in Raleigh, North Carolina, Mark Bergin. Shout out to both of y'all. And I did forget to add this to TaNeisha's intro. She even broke out. You know how like we got like alternate unis for like certain home games, away games, color rush. She broke out the alternate studio for draft. Now I was like, oh, this background is very different. This is new. Is this a transition I see here as well? Was that a I said, oh, she acting different on draft night. So shout out to you and what she was doing over there. Both of y'all, like I said, I was over here in the comment section like, yo, I'm loving this. I'm just like, yo, I forgot it was in my, I was like, bump that, yo, fire, double fire. So salute both of y'all. I just had to get that on the front end. Yes, of course. Indeed.
Well, let me introduce our lovely host, Arthur Moats. He's wearing the icy white tonight. If you're a Texas Longhorn fan, you know when you bring out the icy white uniforms, like that's it. So he's wearing his icy white that probably looks really good with the diamonds that I'm sure that are around his neck and his earrings. So that is Arthur Moats, our host, 9-year NFL veteran. That is a tremendous asset to both of us. And without Arthur Moats, Mark and myself would not be here. So shout out to you, our lovely host. Now, Mark, anything you want to add?
Oh, always. You might have seen him looking rather dapper at a fashion show as part of the NFL draft festivities. Arthur, I saw you walking. Was there a red carpet? What were you doing?
Yeah, so I was a part of a little bit of history being made. The first ever fashion show at the NFL draft. Shout out to Kia Tomlin, Demetria, the NFL, all the different models that were part of it as well. It was a ton of names. My guy Darnell too, also, man, he styled me, man. Shout out to him, man. Yeah, it was a fashion show. It was fire to be a part of. They definitely had me in my like super duper Sundays best. So that was pretty cool. That was different right there.
I was excited.
Shout out to y'all for also lurking and seeing that right there, man. Salute y'all, all right? It ain't often put it out
no
on
one
the
sent me any. Did you take pictures with anybody? I got zero content in my DMs.
So are y'all ready? I have the pictures. They are ready. I was thinking of you, TaNeisha, the whole time I've been loading them up. Okay. And what I've been doing, I was hitting the, let everybody else get theirs all first, right? That they want to tag me in, and I was giving you stories. You're seeing that, right? Y'all got it. Because that's what they say you're supposed to do. You're supposed to let like everybody else tag you first, and then you post them, and then you get the this is what I was on. So just wait a day or two, you'll get the this is what I was on, all right? But I was thinking of you, all right? Every time I had to take a picture, I was like, this is going to be a part of the post. And yeah, TaNeisha, there you go. All right. This is another picture right here. This will also be a part of the post. Okay. So I did that. But shout out to you, Mark, for peeping the fashion show, bro. Man, they had me feeling special. I ain't going to lie to you, man.
I'm glad one of us on this panel has a Tomlin on speed dial.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's
there
wild.
It is.
That's
wild.
I love That's how we doing this.
Good
don't
job,
do this
Mark.
like that. I'm just a guy.
Don't do
me like that. All right.
That was nice.
Just don't do me like that.
I was just excited to see content. I was like, ooh. Picture,
I did see you say
content.
that too. I'm like, really?
Content. I'm like, ooh, what is this? I love this.
I was outside a little bit more than like I'm normally, especially in that like short span of time. Usually I'm like a 1 to 2 events a month type of guy. It was a little more frequent. All right. But it was a fun time. Shout out to the city though. The city showed out, man. The way the locals put on, the way that the people that came into the city put on, man, it was just a time to be had. Mark and TaNeisha, we talking like it didn't matter who it was. Be football players, be regular celebrities, be like, oh, yo, oh, that's pretty cool. I met this person. Oh, man, can I get a picture? Like, it was that type of energy out there, man.
That.
And my personal favorite, no nonsense. We ain't hear about no crimes, no robberies, no crazy shooters, no nothing. We obviously know what has been going on, in our country with certain, hoopla. So with that, it was good that we didn't have any of that take place at the NFL draft. So shout out to everybody that was in the city, man, on their best behavior, man. I appreciate y'all if nobody else does, all right?
Yeah. Before we start, I just need to say this. Look at our color coordination tonight.
You see what we on?
This is legit.
Come on now.
Like, this
Come on
might
now.
be one of our best.
You see
This
this?
is really good. Like,
You see this?
I just wanted to call that out. So I noticed. So I'm just
And
calling
look,
that out.
shout out to Mark. Mark planned that up. Mark sent the DM and was like, "Yo, bro, this the color coordination for the night." I was like, "You sure?" He was like, "Yes, bro." I'm gonna hit him with that flannel. I was like, "All right, I'm gonna go with the draft joint then." All right.
Yeah.
So you know how we was gonna do this thing. So shout out. All right.
This is what I call last of the Mohicans here as we transition from the winter to the springtime.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Love it.
And speaking of transitions, man, we got a chance to see some young guys transition from being just little college players to now joining the big boy ranks. And of course, we're going to talk about every pick tonight, man, for the Pittsburgh Steelers. All 10 of those draft picks out of the 12. All right. So shout out to Dr. TaNeisha for that one. But we started off with the way that she likes them. Nice and big up front, man. Shout out to the big boy offensive lineman that we did draft in round 1. Max, TaNeisha. I finally figured out how to pronounce your name. Forgive me. I butchered it so terribly. Oh my God. TaNeisha, if you could have just, it was bad. All right.
Well, I watched y'all live.
It was terrible.
UNTG, and I was like, I don't think that's how
that is for sure not. And the thing was this. In the studio, I got the camera, so I was like trying to like see the name, and I was like in the moment, and I was hyped, and I'm just like, I'm gonna just take a guess, and I'm gonna throw it out there, and TJ ain't give me no help. I'm like, TJ, if I just start seeing Max, I'm hopeful that, you know how it is when you got your co-host, right? You're like, yo, if I throw this out here, maybe you'll take the rest of this on. No. He didn't say anything. I'm just like, really, bro? All right, bro, you just gonna look at me. All right, you see what I'm over here trying to do. I'm struggling. Yeah. All right. So that was that whole scenario.
Is it Hanachor?
Hanachor. Yeah, but man. Shout out to the homie Max, though, man. That was the first round of 21 over.
Arthur, I need to interject really quickly. Have mercy on Arthur in real time having to do that without the help of the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
But if you want some pure entertainment of watching that live reaction, right before the Steelers announced their pick, TaNeisha, did you see Arthur's rendition of Renegade? It's one of the funniest things I've seen on the internet.
Yeah. What's funny is like I was watching it, and so I was like, the intro was phenomenal. Like the lights, the music, the highlights, everything. And so I was like, there's no way he's singing. He's actually singing.
It was the best.
So I watched the pitch. I watched the pick, and then I went back and I was like, I gotta re-listen to that. Yeah. Was he actually singing? Yeah, he was singing.
Yeah. And bless TG, he didn't know what to do. He was good split about it, but it was just the best.
I missed that singing. Yeah, we usually get it during the season. Yeah,
it'll be back. Like when I get really happy, the songs just start coming out. All right, and everything just becomes a song. You be like, bro, that isn't even a song. Like it is to me. Okay, like that's what we do. Okay, that's how I grew up in the household. People just be singing. They be happy to start singing. Be like, yep, all right. So with that, yeah, man, I did get a little happy. Because it was Renegade. I'm like, yeah, they really played it in Pittsburgh. Like, come on, man. Like, it was a moment.
Yes.
And to add to that, man, we had one of my local high school kids, man, South Fayette football player represented on stage with some of those football players. So I'm like, yo, that's one of the local kids that I actually know from right up the road, my school. Like, oh. So, yeah, I was having a full-on moment, all right? But back to business, all right? Let me finish reading off these draft picks names, and then we're going to talk about them, all right? So we got Big Max up front, man. Next up, man, in the second round, 47th overall, Jeremy Bernard out of Alabama. Nice wide receiver pickup. We also traded up in for that pick right there. Then we had Drew Allar, the Penn State quarterback, 76 overall, third rounder. Shout out. We also made a little trade for that situation also, man. Turns just moving in the round, picking and swapping and all that good stuff. Then after that, man, we did it again. Third round, Dalen Everett, the corner out of Georgia, 85th overall in the third round. Then from there, he might be my favorite hair guy. I'm talking Jennings Dunker, a.k.a. the Mullet Man, out of Iowa, 96th overall in the third round. Then we like Iowa so much, we went back the following round, man. Sometimes you got to do it twice back to back, all right? And that was Caden Wetjen. Love the last name, by the way, out of Iowa, 121 overall, 4th rounder. Then from there, in the 5th, man, went Riley Nowakowski out of Indiana, H-back, tight end type of cat, 169 overall. Shout out to the 169ers, all right? Then after that, in the 6th, can't forget the 6th because, I'm a 6th rounder. Gabriel Rubio out of Notre Dame. Love his face mask. Also, if y'all haven't checked that out, I strongly encourage y'all to check the look out. All right. He was 210th overall in the 6th. Then from there in the 7th, the first of our 7th round picks, Robert Spears Jennings out of Oklahoma, 224th overall, safety. And then the one that I'm probably going to be the most biased about, kid out of Navy, man, 230 overall, Eli Heidenreich, actually out of good old Mount Lebo High School. Shout out to the Whiphill, baby. All right. But he was the 7th rounder, and he had probably the moment of the draft, man, with that walk-on. We'll get to that. But with the picks, let's start with the first round, obviously, man. How do we feel about it? What was the energy with the pick? And do you actually like that selection, knowing some of the other options that were on the board at that time?
Go for it, Mark.
All right. So I didn't realize that Mekhi Lemon's already a first ballot Hall of Famer. We have to start this conversation there. Like, I get that the Steelers had Lemon on the phone. You thought it was signed, sealed, and delivered, and the Eagles trade up and jump the Steelers. I honestly thought about bringing on sunglasses tonight to kind of joke around, where you can tell with receivers sometimes they can be big personalities. That's part of their persona and everything. I am going to go glass half full here, though, considering the draft was in Pittsburgh. I'm feeling good after the weekend. And it's like, I'm hoping that this is the Steelers version of Penei Sewell, Jamar Chase, where both players can be really, really talented, and there's really not a wrong choice. And sure, you say Jamar Chase is the best receiver in the game, maybe behind Justin Jefferson in that conversation. Penei Sewell's been multiple-time first-team All-Pro and wasn't he willing to fight? Was it Ndamukong Suh in terms of a tone setter up front? Like, you got to be kind of crazy to have that type of fight up front. That's the type of player you want to draft. That's my thought process in this with the Steelers. Like, I know that this is what everyone's going to be talking about, and we want the explosive playmakers on offense. To me, this signals, okay, you're probably moving Troy Fautanu over to left side. Broderick Jones probably isn't going to be healthy to start the season. And oh, by the way, between now and May 1st, the Steelers have a decision to make of whether to pick up Broderick Jones' fifth-year option for the 2027 season. That's how I interpret this. Now, Ihanacher up front, from what I see at Arizona State, moves like a grizzly bear. He can get to the second and third level of defenses. He moves like you shouldn't be able to move if you're that size in terms of mauling dudes up front. So, like, the investment the Steelers have made along the offensive line, that really needs to start to pay dividends early in 2026 because they have a lot of young talent up front. I want to see it all come together to where running game's not an issue, regardless of what running back is in the backfield. And then, by the way, which quarterback's going to be playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but that's a whole nother conversation. TaNeisha, what say you?
TaNeisha, we got to hear this one because you were clamoring for the big bodies. Even going back to the combine, you've been like, yo, big bodies, O-line, trenches. I was running to the studio today for this one. All right,
I will go half empty. I'll be the opposite of Mark. If you're going to get a big guy in the first round, when you've been getting that's what you've been doing, and you don't move up to get a guy that has experience, that's not a project that you can just plug and play. That is my issue here. Like, I don't mind going offensive line in the first round. That's fine with me. I love that. I will never be mad at anybody going offensive line in the first round. I won't. When you go offensive line in the first round for a project, that's a little bit concerning for me. And then when you go, I don't even care about the, like, who was on the phone and when we missed. I don't even care about that. Like, that happens. It is what it is. Business is business. I will never fault anybody for business. Like, shout out to the Eagles, right, for making the move and being aggressive, which is what the Steelers should have done. if that was your guy. That is actually
Yeah.
my issue. My issue isn't that it happened. My issue is that I felt like the entire draft, the Steelers were very passive in every single thing they did. And that's my issue. So it's not about him necessarily, the player. It's more about the organization for me of like, okay, so you wanted a receiver, right? We all know that now. You wanted a receiver. You didn't get one. And then your next move was to go to an offensive tackle, which, you know, yeah, I don't understand that move there. It almost feels like a panic move. It almost feels like a move where it goes, oh gosh, who was next? Yeah, just take him. That's fine. So yeah, don't love it.
I like that right there. Shout out first off to both of y'all. I love the perspectives, man, from both sides of it. And I think it's dope too, but for a couple of reasons. Number one, I would agree, right? We all, or at least you heard me over here, man. I want a wide receiver, right? And my, I guess, initial pushback is looking at the wide receivers that were taken in the first round, right? And then looking at the two that that went after our pick. The two specifically, Casey Concepcion, who we were all kind of up and down on, would you take him in the first at 21 or not? And then Omar Cooper Jr., who I felt would be there at 21. A lot of people felt like he would be going a lot earlier than that, but we saw he went late in that first round. To me, that was the one that if I was going to say who else would I have rather had, right? Because obviously I was Kyler Madu. Shoot, I even got a chance to meet his grandparents, man, a couple of days prior to the draft. So I even caught the sentimental bug, TaNeisha. Like, you know, that one where you like, bro, now I know your people's. Like, I want to see you do well. I want you to come here, right? So with that, man, it was like, man, okay, knowing, all right, that was the guy that we wanted. We were on the phone with him. It didn't work out. Cool. I just say to myself, well, if it wasn't going to be that receiver, what other receiver would we have taken? Okay, you didn't take Omar Cooper. Bet. Well, if I know, it's not even potentially, we know the reports are saying that Broderick, at some point in his recovery process, it's setback-ish, or they don't know when exactly it's going to be completely healthy. And from NFL experience, what does cleared mean? Does cleared mean, okay, man, by training camp / week 1, you're cleared to practice? Or are we saying you'll be cleared to playing a game? Or are you already in game shape? Meaning you've already participated in training camp? Or is this you're officially cleared for contact? Because these different endings determine and dictate when I'll be able to see you in season also. And understanding a couple of things on the heels of that. Quarterback, right? We drafted one. So either way, we're either going to have the variation of 3 younger or less experienced quarterbacks, or Aaron Rodgers, who we know is a lot older, but at the same time, he got beat up a little bit last year. So if I know I'm going to have to protect whatever it is back there, and I want to make sure that my running game can carry any of this stuff, to me, when you just look at the athleticism that Max has, the size and athleticism, to me, that's worth that flyer. Because once again, when I'm looking at the tackles that were remaining, right? Because we saw Smo Faslaman go already. That's the other side to me where I'm just like, okay, if that's what you're looking for a big, versatile mauler who also is very young in the sense of football experience. So Jari Evans, you get a chance to actually develop this dude and mold him to what you want. As a dude that, has done the coaching thing, it's like, yo, man, we don't run from that. You actually get excited about that. But I could also understand for others where it's like, yeah, man, I'm a little unsure about what the future may hold. Yeah, man, it's very easy to turn and say, hey, look, bro, I don't like that. And that's why I'm like, I can see both sides of that, honestly. But that was kind of my takeaway with that. But I guess for y'all, right, knowing that we did end up taking Max, right? If there was an alternative play that y'all would have rather taken once we saw how the Mekhi Lemon situation played out, who would that have been for y'all?
TaNeisha, do you have anyone specifically?
Yeah, I mean,
like a specific one. Yeah.
Yeah. Before the show I wanted Casey Concepcion. I think you said that Omar Cooper. They were both there. And then, so there was that. And then, yeah, I guess too, for me, it's just like when you go into something with so many draft picks and your opportunity to strike comes then, it's like, yeah, it just didn't happen. So that's really my biggest, but I would have loved receive. I was on the bandwagon of like, we need to walk out of here with some receivers. Like if we do nothing else, we need receivers. We've had this conversation for too many years. And so after day 1, I was just kind of like, Okay, right. The one need I feel like the only thing we all agree with as a fan base was that we needed a receiver. And then after day one, we still didn't have it. And I was like, of course. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would have loved either receiver there.
To me, Vega Ione was already off the board at 14
Yeah,
to
he was
the
gone.
Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
So what the Steelers do from there, a receiver, but then it's like, are they reaching? Because Lemon wasn't supposed to last to that point, which is why everyone wanted him, why he was coveted, and why he's going to fill the void with A.J. Brown departing Philly. Here's where I am with TaNeisha. Troy Fautanu was really starting to come on the back half of the 2025 season to where playing really well at the right tackle position. So now potentially you're moving him over to the left tackle. And for the people, come for me in the comments. I don't care if you do this. But I saw this weekend when we posted some of the content saying, like, what do you mean? Troy Fautanu played left tackle in college. It's fine. Well, he hasn't played college football in 3 years. He hasn't done that a ton at the NFL level. Like, there's something to muscle memory that you play on one side of the line. And this is why with Ione out of Penn State, I'm like, great. He slots into left guard. Everyone stays put at their respective position, and we can move forward with this. The Steelers, yet again, are potentially going to stunt Fautanu. And this is my concern, because they did the same thing with Broderick Jones before drafting Fautanu. They played Broderick Jones at right tackle because Dan Moore Jr., like it or not, held it down at left tackle and was healthy. So it's like we're doing the same thing over again, and that, it's concerning. It is. Now, again, if Broderick Jones isn't good enough to go, if he hasn't been what you expected him to be as a first-round pick, those are real, open, and honest conversations. And the one thing I would give, maybe not the one thing, but what the credit I would give, if Broderick's not the answer, and we will know that definitively again between now and May 1st, because $19 million for the 2017 season, which is what he would be owed on the fifth-year option, is not that much money for a premium left tackle. We will know what the Steelers think about Broderick between now and then based on the decision that they make, whether to pick up his fifth-year option. And if that's not good enough, the thing I will give Omar Khan, Andy Weidel, and the front office credit for would be if they need to fold their hand, it's like the old song goes, know when to hold them, know when to fold them. And if they're willing to say, we missed out on a first-round pick and that's on us, that was Omar Khan's very first draft pick, if I'm not mistaken. If they're already saying, hey, we're going to potentially move on after the 2026 season, keep an eye on that fifth-year option, because that is going to be what really tells what goes on. But here's where I'm at, too. You don't draft first-round picks at offensive tackle to sit on the sidelines and not play. So I think Jennings Dunker is going to slot into left guard, but that's another huge question mark of, like, what is this musical chairs along the offensive line? But considering the draft capital that the Steelers have spent up front, what the plan is with that, because right now it is a huge question mark, even after the draft. And it's like that's where I'm at with all this. I get fired up about it because it's like, I don't want to be making the same mistakes that we already made in just put a guy where he's most comfortable and where he can develop and where he can best succeed. I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but I'm fired up.
No, you're good. I guess my question would only be this. Do we consider like neck surgery to be low risk or high risk?
Well,
high
yeah,
risk,
I think,
no,
it's extremely,
extremely
It's neck surgery, right?
high risk.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if a player that you know you're dependent on, you got a big decision on whether you pick up the fifth-year option or not, it's coming off of a neck surgery that he just had.
Mm-hmm.
Was it in December? Wouldn't we also be looking at the organization with big question marks about their professionalism if they did not at least try to bring in something of comparable talent and athleticism?
Yeah.
Knowing that, hey, there is a chance he did have neck surgery, you know, that, hey, man, he might be compromised at some point. Maybe it's not for the whole season. Maybe it's half the season. Or maybe he starts the season just fine, but then halfway through the season, it's compromised. It's a neck. We're not talking about a shoulder. We're not talking about a wrist. We're not talking about an ankle. It's a neck. So to me, I felt knowing what they were kind of rumbling about on the lead up to it, to see that that's what they are pivoting to. I'm just like, I don't hate that decision because this isn't a ankle. It's not even like he's coming off of an ACL. He's coming off of the neck. That's scary to me. There is a legitimate chance that he might not come back, right? Sure. There's a legitimate chance he might come back for 4 games, get a stinger, and now he's done. And now what's the answer? What's the recourse, right?
No, yeah, that's a great question. And our aggressiveness was to get a guy who we also we hope that he's also ready to go.
So I ask you this, TaNeisha, is he a first round talent? Yes or no?
I don't know.
Okay, that's fair. So what I would say is this, right? When you talk about his size,
he is. That's why they drafted him. He has all the measurables.
So that's why I said I didn't say his production. I said talent. Is he a first round talent? Right? None of these dudes, any of these dudes in the first round, is a guarantee they're going to produce or not, right? We'll see.
For sure.
I mean, because that's the case, then Broderick and all these dudes would have been perfect since they've gotten here. So there is some level of guessing. There is some level of projection. So all I'm saying is, once again, though, if you know this is a position that you're going to need, right? And we're looking at the list of tackles or offensive linemen that were available at 21 also. All I'm asking y'all is, if not Max, which one would you have went with? Right? Which offensive line? Because if we're saying, hey, he had spinal surgery, there are reports about a setback, we got to have somebody in there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm with you, but this is where, and had they traded up, they would have gone after Lemon. This is where I said a week ago I thought they should trade up if tackle was the play to really go get the guy that they could identify versus with where they were at 21. I do need to self-correct myself. Penei Sewell standing up to Aaron Donald, not Ndamukong Suh. I just wanted to make sure I checked myself on that.
I'm about to say, man, they both killers, man.
Yeah. But to me, because he's still learning the sport, like he didn't really start to play until junior college level, going to Arizona State eventually, he's going to stay on that right side. So then, again, are you moving Fautanu over? Is Broderick good to go? If you're moving Fautanu, here's the thing too. If you're Fautanu, you want to stay at the tackle position because it makes yourself more valuable, whether it's to the Steelers or the rest of the league. You want to stay at the offensive tackle position, right or left side. So I just, to me, and if I had to predict, I don't think that the Steelers are going to take Broderick Jones' 5th-year option. I think that's already decided. If I had to guess,
he just had neck surgery. Why would we take the pick? Why would we pick the option up? I'm just like, to me, I thought that was the no-brainer. It's like, yo, you've been a development, right? And we just saw you have your best season, but then you had a season-ending injury and you had neck surgery. And now they're saying that there's issues of when you gonna be ready. Why would they want to pick up that? That's all I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I think my thing is too is I think my issue is not necessarily with Max per se. It is everything that happened within the first round. Because listen, Max can come out to be all pro, all world, all everything. And that's what I hope. I'm a Steelers fan. The way that it happened and the process around it and all the draft picks they had, that is what's making me feel uneasy. And like I said before, it's not necessarily Max, shout out to you, Max. Like kudos to you, right? It's not you. It's the situation. And that is the thing with me where I'm like, if we knew that strongly about Broderick, why wait at 21 to make a move?
Yes.
But then when you were going to make your move, Broderick was so important and so impacted, you weren't even going to take a tackle. So how impacted was he really? That's where I'm like, it's the situation. It's not necessarily Max.
TaNeisha,
my response, but hold on, Mark. Wait a minute. But I guess my response is this though: could not both things be true? You were trying to draft Mekhi Lemon. You were literally on the phone with Mekhi Lemon, and then you found out you couldn't draft him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So then, what do? Who's the number 2 guy on my list then?
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
Here's the thing, Arthur. You wanted Cooper, TaNeisha. You wanted Concepcion at that point too. But yeah, this is where I think
if you're the Steelers, if you have those guys ranked lower than this guy, then I don't see why you would go to those. This is where the consensus
on the panel. When we talked a week ago, we were like, look, 12 picks. Be aggressive when you need to be aggressive. I think one way or another, Pittsburgh should have done more to move up. Even if it was
think that's my
one
point.
pick.
Yes.
I think that's where regardless of where we come down, when you have 12 picks, that's where you need to be aggressive as the first round, whether it was Lemon, another receiver, another tackle.
Anybody.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's why
up.
for me it's not and it's not Max. Like it could have been anybody. And well, not anybody, but like, you know, I just like the situation. I gotta say that because some of the picks in the first round I was like, who was that? So and it's just the situation is a little bit weird to me. But listen, they did what they did, and something about it just felt like we were like waiting to make a choice. Yes. And then when our choice wasn't available, we made a choice, and I'm like, if no one's going to ever do this. And then I watched Omar Khan's press conference, and that even made me feel more like they didn't know either. It's like, I need somebody to actually come out, take a picture, show me the actual board where it said Lemon, and if not Lemon, Max. Like, no one's ever going to do that. But it's just like one of those things where I'm like, it's so far from each other that I'm just like, okay, guys, like, yeah, I believe you that was your plan all along. I believe you.
I also want to go here. Let's take ourselves out of the 412 for a second. And it was electric. There were so many fans there. This is not to disparage any of the fans there, Pittsburgh there, or anything. Just look at this and act like it's any one of the other 31 teams in the league. And this is just the reality, whether you value or not. High-level receiver, superstar receiver with the first-round pick, guy who's going to be a very talented playmaker, or offensive lineman. Like, the place is going nuts. Renegades playing. Like, we're going to go crazy. And take yourselves outside of being a Steelers fan for a second. If you was another team, say it was, you know, the Browns or the Jaguars, like someone else, and they were hosting the draft and all the fanfare and everything, and it's like, and an offensive lineman that no one was expecting to go here, we would all be joking around and making fun of it. Like, I'm sorry to say that, and again, that's not fair either. And Steelers had to do what they had to do, but other fan bases, when you remove yourself from the Steelers, I'm speaking my truth here. And go ahead and come after me in the comments. I don't care. It's just the reality of the situation of a dynamic playmaker or an offensive lineman. When the city's putting on a heck of a show for the draft, I'm just saying. I think that needs to be said.
Well, what you're saying is why I thought they were going to come back into the first round. And like, it was almost like the perfect setup. It was like, okay, cool. We got offensive lineman. Cool. You know, no one. Okay, fine. And then I was like, this is a great opportunity for it's not going to happen. But anyways, yeah, I don't know.
Hey, all good, man. I can dig it. All good. You know, my perspective is very different, man. I look at it like this. Man, shoot, you brought the dude in, you had a reason, right? Mm-hmm. If we're talking about positions, we said wide receiver, we said O-line, we said if you want to go on something on defense, where would you be looking at, right? But we definitely would all agree. So with that, man, I ain't tripping on it. Hopefully the guy develops. And I think that's my big thing. I just want to see him play well, man. Come in here, do your thing. This is another reason. Wait a minute. This is another reason, though, why I like versatile players. Because injuries are going to happen. In the NFL, it is 100% injury rate. Not a question of if, it's when and how serious. So when we only bring in players that can only play one specific position, and we do that every single draft, every single player we sign, what ends up happening is when you have injuries, you don't have the flexibility to say, man, I can put this dude who is nice as heck over here, who he might not be a 10 over there, but dang it, he's still at 8. He could be at 8 over there. Fair. I like that. And that's what we do have right now. So everything that we can talk about from a concerning standpoint, which I for sure can see that. I just also can see the other side of it where it's like, yeah, man, it's not like we're saying we're about to put some Joe Blow potentially at left tackle if Roger can't go. We're saying it'll be Troy Fautano, who's also a first rounder, who also played left tackle, at some point. So it's like, yeah, I know it feels like scary, but is it really that scary is all I'm saying.
And you know what? Shout out to Max getting drafted first round from Arizona State. I don't know how many offensive linemen have been drafted from Arizona State.
Did you see who he was blocking in his highlights?
Yeah, the guy from Texas Tech. What's his name?
Where did he go? Oh, what pick was he? He was
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why
No,
it's like
I get it though. I get it. He's not
yeah.
known.
So
He a project man. I get it.
yeah, and shout out to he got drafted on probably one of the best days of his life, if not top 5. So that is what it is.
I just look at it from a develop. I'm like, bro, if you can just start as a at the junior college just when you first started playing ball, and you've played enough and you've done enough to get. I'm excited to see what starts to happen when you actually learn this thing even more. But I get it. That's not as sexy. So I ain't gonna go there. Next up though, man, how we feel about that Jeremy Bernard, man? Second rounder, actually drafting a wide receiver. How do we feel about Jeremy? How do we feel about him?
I was like, finally.
Yeah.
Thanks. Like in my mind, I literally was like, oh, y'all want a cookie? Like, I was like, the most obvious, like, okay, thank you. I mean, we got a receiver. Like, I feel like, I don't know, like, what else were we going to do at that point? So I jokingly said to somebody, I'm like, great, here comes our tight end pick, round 2. But yeah.
Oh, no.
Great. That's how I was feeling. That's legit. If you watch any of my videos, you know this, Mark. I was definitely like, oh, woo. But no, I like the pick. I like Bernard. I think he'll fit well. So I thought it was a great pick.
I want to go fully behind the curtain. So I have a confession. Round 1, I watched the ESPN broadcasts. So the whole Mekhi Lemon situation of the Steelers on the phone with him, I didn't see until after the fact, until later that night into Friday. So I decide on Friday, I'm watching the NFL Network broadcasts. And when I see Steve Smith, the great receiver for the Panthers, say that Bernard was his favorite receiver taken of any of the receivers on day 2, that resonates with me. Now, a guy who consistently won his one-on-ones, got open at Alabama, but playing opposite Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams is the number 1 at Bama. Ryan Williams, Jeremiah Smith out of Ohio State will both be first-round picks a year from now in 2027. You can come back and say, I told you so. So the one thing I'm like, okay, he hasn't gotten all the attention, but then I'm thinking like he's winning his one-on-ones in the SEC, the best conference in the country. He's also going to have one-on-ones at the NFL level because of the attention that DK Metcalf generates, that Michael Pittman generate. So if he can just get open, win his one-on-ones in the slot, when they're comparing him to Deebo Samuel of just his size and his build, and he's very sure-handed, yeah, nice pick. Slot him in at receiver 3. I know technically we're going to have to say, is it a competition between him and Roman Wilson? To me, the writing's on the wall there where you've got 3 really strong receivers and a Mike McCarthy offense. So I liked the pick, and I'm excited about it because of everything I just outlined. So I like the pick. And Arthur, going back to Mad Max in the first round, had you gone receiver in the first round, which tackles are then available in the second round if you have to flip those? That's something else that you have to consider.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And shoot, we could go down that list next, right? But to me, man, Jeremy Bernard, I like the Deebo comparison. Even though I was torn, I'm like, he like Deebo when he's running the football, but I'm like, he roast a little bit better than Deebo. I don't want to put him in the Deebo receiver bag. I'm like, yo, I actually like you, man. So to me, man, I do think that, on paper, maybe he does slot to that third receiver spot. I like that more so because it's going to make Roman Wilson also have to step up. Heck, we talk about Roman Wilson like he was 100th pick overall. You look at where he was drafted, look where Jeremy Bernard was drafted. Hey, baby, we ain't tripping, all right? That sounds like a fair fight to me. So I like that. I'm on for competition, and that was kind of one of my takeaways looking at this draft, man. It's like, yo, you're trying to bring in pieces that, all right, maybe you don't like everything that was here, and maybe that's the reason why you actually didn't trade away all them picks, and you used 10 of them. Because maybe you're looking at this roster, if you're Mike McCarthy, you're saying, bro, that might have worked for what y'all were doing in the past, but what I want to do, the players that I like, this is what I want to go with. So I do like the Jeremy Bernard pickup for that, because even though him and Roman Wilson today would be slot dudes, they're very different in terms of how they generate production in that slot. Obviously, we talk about Jeremy, a lot more of a physical dude, man. I like the size on him. But with Roman, man, we know what Roman was doing in college. It's a big reason why we drafted Roman when we did, and the hype surrounding him also. shoot, it was a time where they was just like, yo, pencil him out over Calvin Austin, right? So we'll see. That's all. I love the draft and the excitement that comes from it. And this is where you'll hear that player side push back where it's like, oh, yeah, man, I'm big on competition. Because, yes, I get it. Every draft pick is going to be the best thing. Every draft pick is going to come in here and start. Every draft pick is going to come in here and produce until they don't. So hopefully he'll also be one of those dudes. But at the same time, it's like, I still got hope for Roman Wilson. I even like what Mike McCarthy said as he was speaking on some of his dudes in the Roman Wilson, Caleb Johnson category. Yeah, man, hey. What you did back then, it was like, I'm like a Catholic, right? Catholic church from my memory. Come in here, give a couple Hail Marys. Hey, bro, we got a clean slate.
Yeah.
So, hey, let's see what's up, Roman Wilson. Jeremy Bernard is here. Let's see what's happening, though, man.
Yeah. No, I thought it was a great pick.
No. All right. Now let's get to the pick, though. The pick. You know what we really got to talk about. In that third round. Oh, 76 overall from Penn State. Mark. We took a quarterback, Drew Allen.
Can I just say something? Your video when you were like, did we just take a quarterback? Did we just take a quarterback? Great video.
We're not gonna take a quarterback. Oh, is that the Penn State one? Not the Penn State. Oh Lord, we took the Penn State one. Oh Lord. Oh, yeah, let's go. How we feeling about Drew?
We should have got Anthony Richardson. I'm just kidding. I am totally kidding. If you watched us 4 shows ago or whatever shows ago that was a joke. Okay. It was a joke. Like...
Oh man. This was the first moment of the draft. I wish both of you could see my live reaction where I was like, whoa, like I could not believe it. I still can't believe it. Because the Steelers aren't going to carry 4 quarterbacks. I'm still operating that Rodgers comes back, so then who do you want to move, Rudolph or Will Howard? And then if you want to say Rudolph, he has starting experience. He has a winning record. He started a playoff game. You're going to have 2 quarterbacks with a combined total of 0 snaps, preseason, regular season, anything at the NFL level behind Aaron Rodgers, who's 42, going to turn 43 in December. I don't really fully understand it. I'm excited about it. It fits the mold of quarterbacks that both Omar Khan and Mike McCarthy are looking for. Big bodies, cold weather, huge hands. And I say that because of what happened with Kenny Pickett. So it's like I'm still trying to come to terms of what this means for the Steelers. If Rodgers retires, cool. You got your 3 set. But then it's like, I don't know what you can get in return for Mason Rudolph or Will Howard to where, like, here's the thing, right? Like, Will Howard and Drew Allen are just both unknowns. I at least know what I've got with Rudolph. He's a capable backup. So it's not like any of them have mobility where it's like, yeah, we're going to keep them as a gadget style player like you could do with like,
Anthony Richardson.
Justin Fields. Yes. Say what you want about Anthony Richardson, but it's like there are some things that you could do given the athleticism. So they're not going to carry 4 quarterbacks on the 53-man roster. One of them would get poached if they go to the practice squad. So it's like I'm confused by this at all because it's like you're not going to get rid of the guy that you just drafted. So I think the conversation turns to is what happens with Rudolph or Howard. That's how I see that.
I'm going to talk because Moats and his hand motions are distracting.
I'm sorry. I like big hands. I'm trying to have big hands, bro. That's real though. That's real though in quarterback success. You can make fun of it all you want to. It's real. Look, I'm with you on it, and that's why I was with you when you said it. I'm like, yeah, and that's what we all. The 2 gloves.
Yeah, the hand motions weren't really quarterback-ish, but it is what it is. So, based on the way day 1 went, this pick didn't really surprise me because of that. Because after day 1, I realized I didn't know what the plan was. After day 1, I realized like I have no idea. Like they're just going to do things, and then I need to react to it instead of going into it being like, okay, this is what I would do. I was like, let me sit back and just react to what I'm seeing. And getting Drew in the 3rd round, I don't hate it at all. Because you have to find a guy. And like I felt about the Browns getting Taylor Green, you have to you need a quarterback. Like you have to try to find your guy. And so if your plan is to draft a guy until you find a guy, I can't be mad at you for that. And like we've been saying, like, let him compete it out. I mean, at this point, like this is a job that only 32 people are able to get in the NFL, and that is a starting job being quarterback in the NFL. Work for it. Yeah. Work for it. Go spend the draft. If you think he's worth the third round, cool. Spend the third round. Make him work for it. This is the one time where I thought, you know what? Cool. Make him earn it. Like, and so whatever the three are is whatever the three are. And I also think it sets up a great scenario. So if Rodgers doesn't come back, you do have Rudolph, and now you do have your two quarterbacks. And if Rodgers comes back, you make him compete it out. Like, these are grown men. Welcome to the NFL. Go compete. Like, that's kind of how I took it. And I actually liked it. I wasn't expecting it, but after it happened, I thought, okay. And I kind of like that they like weren't just sitting around waiting for Rodgers to kind of figure out. They were like, all right, if you come, great. And if you don't, we also have a plan. I like that too, more than anything.
Shout out to both of y'all, man. Listen, first off, TaNeisha, it's good to hear that you softened your stance, all right? Because I was so concerned. I'm like, yo, she is going to destroy this court. Oh, my God. I was so concerned.
I'm saving that for some other guys.
I was so concerned. Yes, so I appreciate you from the heart, all right? I appreciate you,
They bamboozled me with the first pick.
Yeah. And now, Mark, I also love your belief. All right. The tooth fairy is real. All right. The tooth fairy is real. Okay. It's coming. It's real. I love it, man. He's coming. All right. He's coming. All right. He went to the store, but he's coming back home. All right. Just keep waiting. He gonna be back home. I don't know what's up with Aaron Rodgers. All right. But I do like the fact that the Steelers are not waiting on him. They're not sitting on their hands, and they ultimately did what they said, right? When the season ended, we all heard them go on record saying, yes, he's priority number one. We'll wait on him, but we're going to set a deadline. And they stuck by it. Heck, even when the reports were coming out about Broderick's neck, they were also having similar reports about, they're trying to get an answer this week before the draft starts. So the fact that, at least from my perspective, they either didn't get an answer or they got an answer. I like the fact that they went and said, you know what? Give me something with a big arm, something that just a year ago actually was talked about at a very high level. And when you watch him, it's like, you see a lot of the things that he does do extremely well, which is what you like about quarterbacks. Do you want him in the first? Absolutely not. Because yes, did he struggle in big games? Sure. And what are the reasons why? There are a ton of variables, a ton of reasons why. My thing is this: forget what's going on in college. Now let's see what happens on the equal playing field. I get it. When you're at Penn State, you're playing against Ohio State, or you're at Penn State, you're playing against Michigan. You're at Penn State, you're playing against Indiana. I get it. And you're the quarterback. So of course it all falls on you. But that's different at this level. You're not outgunned at this level. So now we're going to see with that big arm that you got. We know you can rip and throw every single pass that's on that field. We know you got the prototypical size. You're not fast, but you're not slow either. So at least in that space, it's like, man, if I'm looking at what we currently have and everybody is overly enamored with Will Howard, right? Heck, Will Howard was a 6th rounder. This dude is a 3rd rounder. So at least if we're just solely basing it off of draft status, because you can't base it off anything else because Will hasn't even taken a preseason snap yet, we should actually be even more excited about Drew LR being here. Right? And then even with the Mason Rudolph element of it, I like Mason in this situation just because he's going to be the pissed off vet, the one that has actually played, the one that's actually experienced this, and the one that's actually been in a couple of competitions here, even if they weren't real competitions for him. It's going to be good for him to actually be like, you know what, man, I actually got a legitimate shot in this one. And I think he might be the favorite in it, at least as I sit here today. But that's the part to me that I like. Now, if Rodgers comes back, great, man. Let's have a full-on party. May the best man win. Whoever's the odd man out, that's when they'll get shipped out, right? But, man, we're not waiting on Rodgers. I love that right now. That's my one takeaway with the Drew thing. We'll see if he can produce. He got the big hands. He for sure is accustomed to this weather. But let's just see, man. But not waiting. Make sure you got 3 arms in here that at least can play in the NFL. Like, let's go, man.
That's the thing, though, that I just So Rodgers didn't get through all of 2025 unscathed, right? Like he missed a little bit of time. Could have missed more if he didn't have.
Yeah.
And this is Aaron Rodgers' credit, playing through the wrist injury. Like I give Aaron Rodgers all the credit in the world for playing through that. My point being, you're going to need to rely on one of those players as a backup at some point in the season. It's inevitable with the brutality of football. And to say the one thing we were talking about the reports, Arthur. And okay, let's put my journal. Sorry, I have a few sidebars here. I got to put my journalism hat on though. The reports when who's leaking the information that they're trying to get an answer from Rodgers? It's coming from somewhere. The Steelers brass, the Steelers front office, trying to say, "Hey, we're trying to get an answer in advance of the draft." Like the Monday morning of.
Mm-hmm.
But did you notice who they listed as who the starter would be in getting most of the first team reps if Aaron can't be there? It was Will Howard.
Mm-hmm.
It was Will Howard. But my point of concern is we're excited about Will Howard. We're excited about Drew Aller. Again, 0 snaps. Like we really have no idea. If it were an exact science, all the teams would draft first team all-pro quarterbacks with every single pick anytime they selected a quarterback in any NFL draft. So it's my bit of trepidation of, again, I'm operating in a world until it doesn't happen that Rodgers will be back. But to say his 2 backups have a collective 0 goose egg experience, that concerns me. It concerns me.
Hey, let's go, man. Well, hopefully we don't have to see them too early, but at the same time, if we do, that's the best way to get experience.
Game on.
By playing, rip the Band-Aid off. And sometimes the ones that don't have experience are the better ones because you don't have that fear factor.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know.
And I mean, I get it, right? And that's part of even when I hear you speak, right, Mark? A lot of that comes from just the history of what you've seen, right? You've seen younger guys struggle, but you've also seen younger dudes play well too. But because you see more of the younger dudes struggle or inexperienced dudes struggle, your default is, man, I'm nervous, I'm concerned, right? Whereas for me, my experience is a little bit different, right? Because at one time, I was the inexperienced dude. At one time, I was the dude that, hey, man, you're not supposed to be in this thing in the 6th round out of JMU. And then you look up and it's like, hey, man, you did develop. You did do certain things that they said you couldn't do. Some of the things that they said on your pre-draft profile that you struggle with, you actually figured out how to get better with that. So I guess that's why I default to the optimism with these dudes. It's like, bro,
It's fair.
if it could work for me and I ain't go to Penn State, I ain't go to Bama, I ain't go to Arizona State, you know what I mean? Like, hey, bro, we'll see. But I definitely can understand where you're at though with
Steelers
that.
legend.
Don't
Shout
do
out to
that.
you Steelers
Do
legend.
not do
This
that.
is Arthur
See,
Moats,
here you want
everyone.
to go
If
left
you've been
now.
listening
See,
to us for 50 minutes, I just want that we just need to remind everyone who we're on the panel with, who we're talking to. He has NFL experience. So, but your point is also valid, right? In the sense that, like, I was one of those guys. I was one of those guys that on paper, everyone wasn't like, he's going to hit, he's going to be great. Probably when they took you in the 6th round, Steelers fans were like, oh my gosh, here we go again. Another just random, another
who's this
whatever.
bum?
And right, what is he going to do? And he went to JMU. Like, where is that
Where is
school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
where is that?
Yeah. So I mean, you're not wrong, and that's very valid, and that's why a part of this too, like Mark said, there's no exact science, and it's also what makes this kind of exciting to kind of see, like, okay, did they get it right? Or did they get it wrong? And like, what happened? Because sometimes it's just not a good fit. And you go to another team and you hit and you're fantastic. And that is what makes this fun. That's why I always say, for me, it's not the player per se. It's not like, I'm not mad at necessarily the player. I'm just thinking of like what I want to have that pick, that round, in that moment. But Drew, listen, we are starving for a quarterback. Like,
It's true.
Starving.
Stags,
So
bro.
if he messes around and like looks decent, like, we're gonna go with
Don't
that.
mess
Like,
around and be halfway all right. You ain't even got to be good. Just halfway all right.
if he
TaNeisha's
messes
so
around
right
and has
about
a
that.
crazy throw to DK, like off his back left
Come
foot
on
falling,
now.
and it looks ugly, but it's a complete, and DK manages to break. Are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah.
so that's why for him, that's why I'm like, risk it. Risk that 3rd round pick. Raise our expectations, because if he has 2 good throws, people are going to lose their crap. right then and there. They don't even care about Will Howard. So that's why we're just like, we have to get this position right. So that's just what it is.
Before we move on, the last thing I would say is I cannot wait for the preseason, because I remember several years back going into Kenny Pickett's second year, 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and people were going nuts. He's the next coming of Joe Burrow. I mean, he can look all over the internet. I can't wait to do the same thing over again with Drew Aller in the preseason. Oh, wow, he looks great in the preseason. This is my PSA, and I'm actually serious. This is not a half-baked. This is my PSA. When we get to the preseason, when that time comes, the preseason is like a war reenactment. It looks like the real thing. It kind of feels like the real thing. It's not the real thing, folks. I just want to say
guess
that.
what, though?
I just want to
guess
say
what,
that.
though? But guess what, though? We're going to get a nice civil war amongst Steelers Nation. Because you got Ohio State side and you got Penn State side, and they are ready to plant their flag on their quarterback. Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Well, that's the thing, too, because if you gave, there's a segment to the Steelers fans that are Penn State fans, given the in-state connection. If you gave Penn State fans truth serum of what do you really think of Drew Aller over the fanfare that when he came in as a 5-star prospect and to get them over the top, that didn't happen. That did not happen.
Well,
but it's not all on him either. It's not all on him.
Because I was going to say, the rebuttal, the rebuttal just from a player standpoint would be, if those 2 quarterbacks flip,
you get the same result. Because they didn't win that
that's
championship.
literally what we said. They are.
I mean,
I wish you put your.
They have the top defense in college football. Okay, like it wasn't even, and it wasn't even close.
TaNeisha, how many running backs they had going to first? Okay,
exactly.
all right. I'm just saying, I get it.
And by the way, those same guys just got drafted this weekend, to finish the circle.
I get it.
Let's not act like. I mean,
but if we're
not comparing the same thing here.
I had a buddy text me over the weekend with all the picks out of Ohio State, and he goes, "How did the Buckeyes not win the national championship?" And I go, "Great question."
Yeah,
great question.
Well, their quarterback play in that offensive line.
Yeah. But it's all good. It's all good. We're going to say positive. We're going to go to the next pick, all right? Shout out to the SEC. We're going to talk Dalen Everett, baby. We got us another corner, a 6-foot+ guy. I like these tall corners we get in there. 85th overall, 3rd rounder. What was the energy with this? This was also one of those ones where we were doing a little bit of a shuffling the draft deck a little bit to get to this spot right here.
Yeah, I like Everett. I had to face him multiple times in multiple years. My Texas Longhorns did. Actually, we played him 3 times. Yeah, I like him. I think it was a solid 3rd round corner. I like it. That was a pick where I was like, okay, cool. I get it. That makes sense.
Let's go. What about you, Mark? How'd you feel?
I mean, a 4.38 in the 40, and I look at this straight up. I'm just going to say this. I think the Steelers are deepest at defensive back now, and I cannot believe that I am saying this coming off a season where they had to fix the engine of the plane while it was up in the air midway through the 2025 season a year ago, moving Jalen Ramsey to safety, Deshaun Elliott's season-ending injury, the team outright cut Darius Slay. And now you look at Jamel Dean free agency signing. You look at bringing Asante Samuel Jr. back. Joey Porter Jr. is getting better. If Everett gets onto the field, Ramsey, is he, in the slot? Is he back at safety? Elliott will come back. You bring in Jaquan Brisker. This is a deep DB room now. This helps solidify that. And when you kind of get 3rd round, 4th round, and on, where we start to talk about some of these players, it's what can they contribute in the special teams game. But I look at a pick like this, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. I don't know. We've got guys that can match up now, in all honesty, and that really, really excites me. And another SEC player where he's going up against the best of the best week in and week out at Georgia. Played in a lot of big games. I'm fired up about this, and I'm fired up for the fact that the Steelers' defensive back room, I think it's even deeper. I think it's a deeper position group, and I can't believe I'm saying this, than edge rusher. I think it's the deepest position group that the Steelers have going into the 2026 season.
Let's go. Love that excitement right there. And shout out to the fact that you speaking of SEC receivers. Heck, he went against our second round draft pick too, man, out of Bama. So shout out to that one, man. But anytime you get big, long, speedy corners like what you're getting with Dalen, man, you can never have enough of those guys, the JPJ varieties, right? And physical dudes like him also help. Because like you said, man, we remember how the end of last season was, where the injuries started to pile up, and you had a release in there, right, with Darius Slay, who we totally forgot. I was like, who is this dude you talking about?
When you said
we
that,
did I was like, God, dog, he was on the roster at one point in time a year ago. Jeez. So with that, though, you can never have enough of them. Corners are just like pass rushers. The more, the better, right? And in this space, man, I do also like the fact that Dalen can bump inside. So you have positional flexibility without having to compromise size for it. It's not like we're saying, hey, man, he's 5'9.5". He might get swallowed up a little bit versus the run. No, this dude has good size on him. So that part you feel good about in terms of the positional flexibility and just continue to be multiple, right? We talk Jalen Ramsey. He can play more than just one spot. That's what you're looking for. Dudes that can, man, not just here. You could do this, or this. And to me, that's what my man Dalen also will present. But the fact he's SEC, you just feel more confident about his skill set translating because of the monsters that he has to go against week in and week out. I mean, it's not like some Texas schools in the SEC and they got like all this big speed and stuff like that. I mean, sheesh, they just had to, every year they got guys going in the first, second round. Heck, they would have had a dude go in the second round last year, but we know how that played out. But he still got second round money because once again, he's like that. All right. So just know, I feel good about corners from the SEC. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think the third round was like I liked all of these picks. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, can we talk about the mullet, man? Because like I said, I love his hair. I just love his hair. Jennings Dunker. Shout out to Iowa. First off, I didn't realize Iowa had this many NFL caliber players. I'm like the past two. I'm like, yo, what's up with all these Iowa players getting into the league, bro? Like, what's going on in Iowa? But here we are, Jennings Dunker, 96th overall in the third round.
And they play like us.
Image. They look like us. They play like us. It's crazy. Old us, not new us, TaNeisha. Don't you put that on us. That's old us. New us is like Ohio State. We're going to sling that thing. Yeah, put some respect on us. Yeah.
Is that the new us?
Yeah, we
getting a guy who needs development in the first round, not a receiver that can be a playmaker.
Come on, man.
So for me, I like the pick. I like my offensive lineman, big, physical, aggressive, all of the things. He's all of those things. But my favorite part about offensive linemen is when I see them and they're wearing shorts showing off their legs. That lets me know they're ready to go. They don't care. They're like, because usually when you see an offensive lineman's legs, they're massive and they usually cannot find things to show them off. So the fact that he is wearing shorts to show off his legs, I really love that. Now think about what I'm saying, people. Just think about it. Like, take some time and think about how many offensive linemen's legs you've ever seen before in real life. It's very rare. I'm just peeping you the game a little bit here. So I love that he could find shorts that could show his legs. That lets me know he's about business, because that is very rare. It is very rare. And I think Jason Kelsey also really likes him. And if Jason Kelsey likes you as an offensive lineman, then I'm okay with that.
What you got, Mark? Because I'm about to say, for me, man, I dig it. Like, and even the whole Jason Kelsey element of it is like, I dig that too. So for me, man, I just go hop in this thing real quick, man. But for me, I can see why Jason Kelsey would like him. You watch how he plays. Granted, he was playing tackle on tape. He's gonna for sure bump in the guard. He got the little shorty arms a little bit. All right, so he's gonna have a little trouble with the edge. But if you're in a pickle, could he go out there? Absolutely, right? If you need an extra offensive lineman, could he do that? Absolutely. But the thing that I really enjoyed in terms of watching his tape was how he finishes his blocks on defenders. He has that nasty finish. So what I mean is this, right? When I watch Max, and I can tell that Max is still a younger player in developing because he's a little bit nice when he finishes. He's still blocking the heck out of dudes. And that's why you get drafted in the first round. Not just because you got talent. It's because you're also producing with it, right? So he was blocking these dudes, but it was still like, it's gentlemanly. It was like, yo, all right, I see you jump up in the air. I could push you again, but I'm going to let you land. All right, I did block you. Now you fell. I could jump on you and swag surf with my big boy belly, but I'm going to respect. I'm going to let you, gather yourself and get up. He's nice. Jennings dunker is not nice. Jennings dunker is the type you want to punch in the belly, okay? Because I just seen him one too many times do the nasty or the little extras. That's what we call them, extras, all right? And he got them extras in his game. And honestly, when it comes to the trenches, you're one or the other, right? You're either so elitely skilled or dominant with your strength that you don't have to do all the extra stuff and you just silky smooth. The others are, hey, bro, I'm gonna give you this extra, all right? And then the Hall of Famers are the one that have that talent and the extra. And then you get Marquise Pouncey. He's like, thank God he's on my team, okay? But to me, man, Jennings has that nastiness that you want in an offensive lineman, and he has good size. And to me, man, once again, I feel like watching him at Iowa, at least on the tape, and you're watching shoot from a year ago, Caleb Johnson burst through. I'm like, all right, this is what we needed. This is now can I get a 2 for 1? Is this about to happen now? So I'm hopeful. All right. That's why I went with it. I'm like, yo, if we're just gonna keep bringing Iowa guys, eventually all my Iowa dudes should feel really comfortable, and we should get a lot more production going forward from them dudes, man. So that was my energy with it, man. But Mark, talk to me, man, because Jennings' hair is very different from how your hair looks. All right. He don't got Emmy Award winning producer hair. He got big body. I'm in the trenches. I'm gonna show my leg because I'm like that hair. So what was your energy on Jennings, man?
We need to come up with a nickname for him, the Mullet Mauler. There's a few in my mentions. I'll tell you guys after the show. I can't say. We'll come up with a nickname, though. And thank you to the people who replied in the comments because some of the suggestions were just hilarious. Just hilarious. Looking at the tape, there's the nastiness element. But then when I see him throwing bales of hay over, it's like almost like the high jump, except you have to clear the hay over the hurdle. Arthur, I Googled being like, do they have local competitions in my area after seeing the tape of this guy?
You participating? You getting in?
I want in. I want in after watching all of this. I got that, he's got heck of a personality. I love this pick, in all honesty. I did. And if that translates onto the field, I'm hoping he's the guy that they can just slot in at the left guard vacancy left behind by Isaac Seumalo. That's how I envision this. He's a lot of starting experience, 40-plus starts at Iowa, and it's just he's got a personality. He's got that nastiness, and I love this pick. I really Dunk City. I mean, I could go on and on and on, but I'll pull up some of the ones that I know that I can read. But there are a few I'll tell you after the pod where I'm like, I don't know if we can go to this, but it's hilarious.
So I did have a quick question though, right? With his starting experience, not a ton of experience at left guard. Any concerns or pushback with that one?
Yeah, because he played a lot of right tackle. I mean. Depends on how extravagant you want to go with this nickname. Freebird, hay vault champion, trailer park coordinator.
Trailer
some
park
of these.
coordinator.
This was my favorite one. This is my favorite one. This comes from a guy on Twitter named Deputy Dog. Mankind. That was my favorite nickname of his. Oh man.
Let's go. Shout out to Jennings. I like it.
I do like this. Arthur, that's one of those ones where you got to see. You got to see once you get into camp of what a guy's skill set is. TaNeisha, hop in. But no, I remember what I wanted to say really, really quickly. And I'll pass it here. TaNeisha, you're talking about the size of a player. The late, great Craig Wolfley, longtime announcer for the Steelers, played for the Steelers on the offensive line in the 1980s. He used to say this. He used to say, a player's got arms for legs and legs for trees. And so that's what you're talking about when you're talking about the size of Jennings. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, the only certain ones will show off those legs. Most of them will just wear baggy jeans or workout pants. It is a rarity when they want to show off those legs. So I'm just saying, whenever you find one that does, just you're like, oh, we got us one. So that's.
I like
my woman assessment, assessing with nothing other than aesthetics.
Shout out. Well, shoot, taking it all the way or keeping it all the way in Iowa, man, with those aesthetics. We also went in the 4th round, 121 overall, Caden Wetjen. How we feel about Wetjen?
Weejan.
Oh, it's Weejan? Okay, Weejan. Let's go. How we feel about him, though, Mark? How you feel?
Yes,
Oh.
I watched a few of that because I was like, all right, what's the appeal? The return game. Let's finally get this right. The NFL, and I don't know if the Steelers got the PSA, they changed the kickoff rules 2 years ago, and they've been at the bottom of the league for the last 2 years. We're talking about a player who has 6 return touchdowns, 4 punt returns, 2 kickoff returns, back-to-back return specialist of the year in the Big Ten. And when every time he touched the ball, he flipped the field for Iowa. What I'm talking about, a nation best, nearly 27 yards per punt return. If you can't kick to the sky, the vision, I'm not saying he's Devin Hester. I'm not saying he's a future Hall of Famer, but to where it really changes the element of, oh, you got to go punt to this team. You're really going to have to strategize and keep the ball out of his hands, and the Steelers can get better field position. I know that Calvin Austin III had a punt return touchdown along with Deontay Johnson. Then you got to go back to Juju Smith-Schuster's rookie year. Having a sound return game is something that you need to have in the NFL to set your offense up for success when your defense is able to get off the field. And that is the logic in this pick and bringing in Weegin from Iowa of let's finally get the return game right. It's been too long.
Okay.
That's the logic.
Okay. TaNeisha, did you have anything? Because I was just I'm gonna wait. Go ahead. What you got? You got anything? What you got?
Did I say something wrong?
No.
If that's the logic, great pick.
She wasn't loving the pick. She wasn't loving it.
It's going downhill from here.
She wasn't loving it.
It's not. You know what? Actually, Mark, you actually made the pick sound way better. So leaning into what you said, taking your you passing the ball to me and me making the layup, I'm taking the layup and I'm going to say, I like that. That sounds really good. And I hope our special teams can get on track. And I'm passing it to Moats.
Okay.
And now we'll hop in. So 100% though, Mark, you were right though. That is why we're drafting Caden. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Yeah. No. Seriously, you watch him and flipping the field. We talk about hitting yardage, right? We talk about trying to set up young quarterbacks potentially. What helps them? Field position. And if I remember correctly, a year ago, we initially had one of these dudes we drafted out of Iowa trying to return kicks, and then people crucified the thought of having Caleb Johnson back there. So it was like, all right, cool, don't put him back there no more. So then it was Jalen Warren who starts.
Okay.
Wait,
Arthur,
no, wait a minute. Go ahead.
Who was the guy at Iowa who was actually in the return game? Weegin, the Steelers, the player the Steelers just got.
You're not following me. Mark, you're not following me, though. Follow me real quick. Once again, we put Caleb Johnson back there, right? Caleb Johnson. We say, hey, you don't do this, right? You ain't return. It doesn't work. So we put, Kenny G, right? And Jalen Warren, 2 starting running backs back there. Now we just, paid the one. Kenny G is gone now.
Yep.
You bring in Rico Dowdle. My whole thing is this. Where is Caleb Johnson's role right now on this team? If he's not a return man, he's not playing over Jalen Warren or Rico Dowdle. Where is his role? Because Caden plays kickoff return and punt return. And scores in both of them.
And don't forget about bringing in Travis Homer as well.
You see, so that's my only thing. I'm just like, don't let that get lost in the shuffle, because I know a lot of us were high on Caleb Johnson and we want to see him run this football, but where is he getting those opportunities to run the football? And this was my whole thing a year ago when it was like, yo, I know you may have not done this before, but you better develop skill sets, right? Or reasons to make yourself valuable, because this is scary for Caleb Johnson right now. You better be figured out. You better learn to catch them things, man, because this dude can't do that and do it at a very high level, at least at the collegiate ranks. So I like that. And the other thing was this. Who was the punt returner that we lost? Calvin Austin. So in both spaces, wait till you play a game and you don't have a return man back there, or you got a dude that has questionable ball skills. We saw with Caleb Johnson, right? Heck, I'm old enough to remember when it was Gunnar Oshesi out there and he was trying to decide, do I want to catch it and kick 1 foot in bounds, 1 foot out? I know what he was trying to do, but the execution wasn't there, so it doesn't matter, right?
Yep.
All I'm saying is, if we're going to complain about it when it's negative, I actually applaud the investment ahead of time. That's all.
Get it.
So that's why I like the Caden pickup. Literally that and nothing else of that. But if I know this is an issue and it has been an issue over however many years now, go invest in the position, man.
Yes.
Go invest in it. And if he runs a kickback this year, I guarantee you won't nobody be over here talking about, man, why we take him in the 4th round? I can't believe we drafted him. No, every time he flips the field, we're going to be like, man, I can't believe we wasted that draft pick on that 4th round out of eye. Why would we do that such a thing? No, we're not going to be saying that at all. So I like that part of it, right? But it could start to get a little weird. So if y'all ready, we get to the...
Hang on.
Oh,
I want to reassure TaNeisha as well. For his rookie year, I don't need Weegan to contribute in the receiving game. I mean, maybe as a 4th or 5th receiver, but I don't need him to do a whole lot. Literally, can you help flip the field consistently and have that be a tactical advantage? Like when we talk about what Boz brings to the equation as a kicker and be able to be money from 55 plus, maybe 60 and in, money, that's the tactical advantage I'm talking about. The special team standpoint, to me, that's the logic in this pick.
Mark, special teams are like offensive linemen, Mark. Special teams like offensive linemen. We do not care about them until we care about it, right? It's not when it becomes an issue, now I care about offensive line. Now I care about return men. Now I care about kickers and punters. When they punting where they're supposed to, we don't even know the punter's name, all right? That's how it is. So we get it. We get that part of the special teams, man, but that's for sure just the energy with it, man. I like it, though. You know I like it. But now in the 5th round, how do we feel about number 169 overall, right? How do we feel about him? Good old Riley Nowowski. Nowakowski, excuse me. That one. Go ahead. What you got, man?
Yeah. To me, he's the XL, the bigger version of the departure of Connor Hayward. So Connor Hayward goes to the Raiders, and you need a tight end 3. He's listed as fullback. I think it's interesting. He could be an H-back. He can line up all over. Solid run blocker, solid hands. I am curious to see if he's going to be the guy used for the tush push or the Pittsburgh plunge, whatever you want to call it. Because, again, Rodgers, he'll be back 2026. Yeah, it's not going to be Rodgers under center in those short yardage situations. So is it going to be Nowakowski out of Indiana coming from a winning program? You like that. But good size, to me, it's like he slots in for the void left behind by Connor Hayward.
Yeah, I don't like how you keep trying to just act like what Arthur Smith created just gets to go to Mike McCarthy. Nah, bro.
That's true.
That was a
Are we doing
Arthur
toss plays
Smith
still?
staple. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's
I get it.
Yeah. Don't be putting that. Yeah. Don't be stealing that. No. Hey, look, McCarthy, you figure out your own little quarterback sneak situation, all right? And I don't want to see your tight end reverse out and take it on the keeper. I don't want to see that because I already seen Arthur Smith came with that one, all right? I don't want to see you hit the reverse and then hand the ball off either. No, player. That's an Arthur Smith staple. And y'all told me he was terrible. He was trash. I don't want to see none of that carry over, all right? Get your own creativity. That's Arthur Smith play. So I'm with you on the Pittsburgh Plus, but no. He don't get that. That's gonna be at Ohio State, okay?
Listen, player. Say what you want about Arthur Smith. It was one of the things he actually did really, really well in this offense. So, I mean, we know Darnell Washington's going to be catching and blocking. Freiermuth's going to be catching. You need another blocking tight end. So that's how I see this. But yeah, I mean, say what you want about Arthur Smith. That was one of the things he did really well with this offense this past season. So, like, if it worked, take a page of something that worked. Yeah. Why not?
Well, and I look at it like this, right?
I hear what you're saying, though, Arthur.
No. I was joking with him, but we're on the same page, though. So what I would say is this, though, right? With Riley Nowakowski, right? I'm with you, right? He is the replacement for Connor Hayward. I guess my question would be this, right? TaNeisha, this is for you. What value did you put on Connor Hayward, Jonnu Smith, right? Just what they both would bring in terms of that move-in tight end / H-back, might line up in the slot, could do some of the under center stuff, might have him lead block, might do the leak out route, right? They're not not Darnell Washington, but just that combination of player. What's the value you put on that?
That's a really good question. I feel like Jonnu, we didn't really see a lot of him this year. When we did, it wasn't great. Hayward, so he came in and did a lot of I feel like he did a lot of like cleanup work, like the work that you don't talk about. Like he played special teams and then a lot of special teams. Yeah. And then I can't remember what he really did on offense besides all obviously like the tush push and stuff like that.
Right.
I can't remember
Because
I just remember him on special teams.
Yeah, because prior to this year, we've seen him catch some touchdown passes, right? He would line up in the slot.
Prior to this year,
yeah, prior to this year, was more so backfield, QB under that type of stuff, right? He was that person. But prior to that, we did see him kind of do some of that. So I'm just trying to figure out the grade or value we put on that, because to me, when I think of that position, that role, in the 5th round, I don't hate that.
It's a 5th round.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because you're not Pat Frymouth, right? You're not the dude that we want to throw the ball to 10 plus times in this game. You're not Darnell Washington, who we also want to get the ball to, 5 to 7 plus times in the game, right? But you are a person. We saw Connor Hayward out there. He played a good amount. And then we talk about that role on special teams. He was also one of those dudes that was right around double-digit tackles on special teams. And why is that important? Man, you'll go 3 games without getting 1 tackle on special teams just because the nature of it. Man, it was touchbacks. The ball never came to my side, whatever, right? So when you start seeing dudes rack up 10 plus tackles, it's like, okay, you're productive. That means you're getting to the football, and that's part of why the Raiders paid him what they paid him. They ain't pay him no chump change, right? You look at the difference of what Calvin Austin, shout out to Calvin Austin, that's my dude, but look at his contract and you look at what Connor Hayward got. And it's like, okay, man, they are clearly letting us know also value-wise, league-wide, what this is. So that's my only thing. With this being a 5th, I don't hate that. And he's coming from a winning program. His skill set to me looks carbon copy, though, to that Connor Hayward, Jonnu Smith. Like, so that's what I'm like, I don't hate that. If we got to replace that 5th, cool. So that was just my vibe with that thing. And look, to just give you a little bit more reassurance over there, TaNeisha, right? Because I know usually was like, I don't know why why this, like, well, hold on, just perspective it. This is the thought process with it. Because if not, I guess my question would be, what would you have went? Or my bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, yes, all of that. I love it. That's amazing. I think one of his weaknesses is his ability to block. That's a little bit concerning. But no player is perfect. And again, if you're telling me that he is here to do what Connor Hayward could do, even if it takes him a little bit more time to be a little bit more productive, obviously, right? Because he's younger. Connor Hayward had a couple of years with us, and so he was able to kind of develop into what he was. That's fine. I mean, and again, this is not a knock on anybody that gets drafted in the NFL. It's a 5th round. It's a 5th round draft pick. So if he can give us something, some type of stability somewhere on the football field, I don't even care if they're like, actually play linebacker, bro, go make tackles. I don't even care. If he's able to do that, then it was a draft pick well spent. He is not one of the guys that I'm like the last ones. He's not one that I'm just like, okay, that's fine. If he can give us a little something, special teams, we've gotten 2 special teams guys here back to back in the NFL draft 2026. So our special teams better do something. Like we need to see that show up on the football field.
I mean, I could dig it. All right, next up, how we feel about big boy out of Notre Dame, little Gabriel Rubio. How we feel about him, man? How we feeling, huh?
Yeah, Mark, go for it.
Wow.
You've been selling me. I mean,
hey, look, TaNeisha, it's how like TaNeisha only likes the early perfect prospects, and after it gets to the woods, it's like I don't see it.
TaNeisha.
If it's development related,
I like the safety. And I'm okay with Caden after the sell. I'm okay with that.
She gets the logic now.
Yeah, and that's what I always say. If you can make it make sense to me logically, I'm okay with that. Like that's fine. It's just when it doesn't make sense to me, I'm like, I don't. Yeah. Anyways, sorry,
to
Mark.
me, positional depth,
I like it.
Good size, depth along the defensive line, pretty stout against the run, but like kind of questionable level production. And I don't mean to always take too much away from combines and pro days. The athleticism is less than what you would. I don't know. I'm trying to be polite here, but it's not even average. It's not quite up to standard. So again, but this is a 6th round pick. So like for me, it's really like 4th and especially 5th round pick on your rookie year. I'm like, you're probably not going to see much playing time on offense or defense? Like, what can you contribute from a special team standpoint? What can you contribute from a depth standpoint? And you can never have too many defensive linemen. But I don't know. This was the one pick where I'm like, I don't really quite fully understand this, but here we are. It's a 6th round pick, so I'm happy to eat crow and be wrong about this.
Well, you know what? This is the Arthur Moats pick, 6th round. Sign me up for him.
Okay.
Sign me up for him.
Right.
Sign me up for him.
Yep.
That is my new final answer. Is the Arthur Moats experience pick? Sign me up for him. He's got it.
Go. No, man, this is the beauty of perspective, man. I just love it because I get excited about every pick that was made and why I look and I can see a clear path of production and why they work, but it's from my experiences. And I love actually to hear y'all side of it, right? The anxiety or the questions or the I don't see it or I'm just a second guess. And it's like, it's good because it gets balanced, right? Because otherwise I'm gonna get up here and I'm gonna just tell about how I like this. You're like, bro, well, why'd they go so late? And it's like, y'all saying why they go so late, but so the thing is this though, right? We're saying, hey man, these guys can't be good because of where they're drafted at, right? Just think about how many people did not get drafted for perspective. So that's
Arthur,
only thing with it. So let me talk a little Gabriel real quick though.
I want you to sell me on him specifically because
I ain't worried about that, man.
I tried to do some research.
Pause.
Like, what's the upside?
Mark, you're overthinking it. You're overthinking it.
Okay.
How big is he, Mark?
Massive. How big is he? Like, what, 6'5", 6'6"?
Yeah, 6'5",
big dude.
320-something, 330 pounds.
Okay.
He's here to play nose tackle. That is what he's here to do. He's here for field goal block. You said, where's your special teams at, right? That's what he's here to do. You're here to provide competition and depth for our interior dudes that we've been bringing in here. Now, does he make the roster? We will see. But to act like when I look on this roster and I start naming names, right? Dean Lowry, right? Y.A. Black, who came a year ago, right? Aziz Adamiu, or excuse me, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like Keanu Benton. It's like, even with him, it's still been a little up and down. All I'm saying is if I'm bringing in a dude that is that massive to this conversation, I'm either going to have me a rotation of when I'm not getting what I want to get out of this one, I'm not getting what I just keep spinning it, or it's going to make that dude up front and the dude behind him elevate. Why? Because competition. Heck, think about how easy it is when we show up and we do this, right? But just imagine, like, if TaNeisha, when we came here, you had another NFL player waiting for any take that I have that wasn't good enough, you was going to sub him in. Think about how sharp I'd be. Think about TaNeisha. If I had another lady in the middle waiting, like, yo, I don't like that take. Hey, sub her out real quick, bro.
Yeah.
Or, hey, Mark, imagine we had another dude look just like you, wore flannels like you and everything. We was like, hey, bro. Hey, bro.
Someone with 2 Emmys.
You know what I'm saying? We're like, right? Just think about how much more sharp you would be. Each of us would be, right? Because competition. We lose sight of that in our day-to-day lives because, hey, that's frowned upon in our common workplaces. But that's not the case at this level. In fact, that's what you promote. That's what you actually want to see. So to me, that's why I got excited about it. Heck, the optics of it just made it that much more easier because he looked like Tony Saragusa with the stink boy bar in the face mask. So for me, he wasn't even, and that's the beautiful part. But this dude is massive. So that's the thing. And once again, how many big people, big humans like that can actually move around? The ones that can move around great go in the first. The ones that can't go in the middle to the back tier rounds. It's not a lot of humans that size that can actually move around. Heck, we saw the dude from Florida a year ago. He was too big, right? Desmond White, he was too big. It's like, yo, we can't even use it. So trying to find that perfect blend of size is not a lot of them dudes that's walking around here like that. So that's the reason why you do this right here. So that's what I like to see. We'll see if he makes it, though. And that's the other beauty of draft picks. Just because you draft a guy, just because you sign a guy, just because you trade for a guy, heck, even the free agents that we brought in earlier this offseason, there's no guarantee that all of them dudes make this roster. No, you're just trying to bring in the best players for competition. So now when September hits, man, now I got the best group because they had to prove it. Not just, hey, he was paid more, he was drafted earlier. No, you actually had to prove it. So that, to me, is what this pick is. Once again, competition, man. We're not going to let dudes just sit here on this roster. No. Prove that you belong here. So that was that.
Thank you.
But,
I needed that, Arthur.
No, trust me. Look. And this is the beautiful part, too. I just like I said, all different perspectives. You know me, I'm never trying to sell anybody or prove anything. I just speak how I see it. So I don't want y'all to feel like, oh man, you ain't doing enough to sell it to me. That is not my intent. All right. I'm just telling you what I see. All right. So yeah, but how we feel about Robert Spears Jennings, baby? I know you said TaNeisha, you said it's one of your dudes right here, the Oklahoma boy. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I like his athleticism. Again, 7th rounder, right? This is who we got with
the first of the 7th round. Yeah, 224.
Yeah, so I mean, at this point, we're just trying to get the best athletes to come out here and potentially show us something. And I think he's that. He's definitely an athlete. He's extremely athletic. Played against him a few times, him coming from Oklahoma. So no, I like him for a 7th round draft pick. And if he makes this team, he's another guy that's going to be really good on special teams because he has that speed to be really good. So yeah, I like this pick actually. So he was one that I was like, you know what? Okay, 7th round. That makes sense to me.
Could dig that. Yeah. What about you, Mark? How you feel about him?
All right, so here we are again. Miles Killebrew's gone to Tampa, and you need players who can help fulfill that void of Pro Bowl level production. I'm not saying he's Miles Killebrew, but 4.3 speed and a 2-year starter at Oklahoma. They were saying that he struggled a little bit in deep half coverage, which is like, okay, congratulations. You're playing high-level SEC football. You're going to get beat sometimes. And when you talk about the speed and being a sure tackler, that's where I think he slots in of what can you do from a special team standpoint. The other thing I would add as well, the Steelers a few years ago had a guy out of Texas, TaNeisha, named Ryan Watts, who had his career cut short by a career-ending neck injury.
Yep.
If Watts
what injury was it?
It was a neck injury.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you, Arthur.
They're getting headboarded.
But, if Watts develops and turns into what you think he might be in terms of, maybe contributing a bit on defense, but then from a special team standpoint, that helps fill that void and it helps shore up, again, a position of depth that, we already touched on, we already talked about in terms of the Everett pick in the 3rd round. So, yeah, I mean, again, at this point, too, there's no guarantees that any player will make it, but you see a player who was productive and was good for the Sooners for 2 years. TaNeisha, I take what you say very seriously too, because that's, the Red River rivalry, that's real. That is real competition. Yep. So
1,000%. And I'm with you guys on that one as well. I think they said he had the 2nd fastest time for safeties at the combine. So with that, I do like that because on special teams, speed kills. Heck, I remember us drafting, was it Trey Norwood, was that 4 seasons ago, if I remember correctly, did not have this type of speed. Played safety. I liked him, was versatile, but he wasn't moving like this. Robert Spears definitely can run, man. And I think that will be his saving grace early on special teams. Those type of dudes, if you're drafting them, yeah, you are supposed to come in here and be one of our most short tacklers, one of the most productive dudes for us on special teams. So, Mark, you bringing up Miles Killebrew, that was instantly what I thought of as well. I'm like, heck, they both even play safe. The difference was Miles Killebrew was a 2nd round draft pick coming out to actually play safety, and then he just ended up being the special teams guy. With this, it's like, hey, bro, let's just see, can you do it? It's going to be some other dudes on this roster, though, that's also going to be fine for that role, but as a 7th rounder, like at this stage, like take what you want, right? If you like tall guys, draft tall guys. If you like big Power 5 guys, man, go take big Power 5 guys. If you like storylines, get your storyline. All right. Which brings us to our final draft pick.
Okay,
brings us to our draft pick right here. All right.
That was well done, Arthur.
Speaking of storylines, out of Navy. 230th overall, TaNeisha, the Mount Lebanon High School prospect right here in Western Pennsylvania. Eli, come on, man. Eli hiding right, man. Shout out to my running back, man, / slot receiver / you play the wing. You don't really have a position. It's like you're running back / slot receiver, but you don't really do either one in a traditional sense. Navy. So there you have it. Yeah. But he's a serviceman. Shout out to Navy.
Yeah, in college they call them athletes now, like the ones that that's what they should just call them. Yeah, just give them the ATH. Yeah. You know what? For the moment, for the experience, you know what? Fine. Just I'm okay. Like,
Big Pop, come on, man. You've seen him
Like,
walk on the stage, Big Pop.
Give him the moment. Give Pittsburgh the moment. Give NFL the moment. Like, gives the Steelers the moment. The moment. I don't know if there was a better moment besides Roger Goodell hugging the guy that stayed, that got drafted for Houston, and he was just like, as soon as he got drafted,
McDonald,
all he could do was just cry, and that was pretty cool. But yeah, like give him the moment. It's fine. Like, it's fine. Just come on. Just come on. Like, that's kind of how I feel about it.
That's real. Hey, and shout out to Roger Goodell too, man. My man was everywhere in the city. Roger put on, man. Salute Roger, man.
In a video, I actually was like, he was one of my favorite parts. And I felt gross saying that. But I was like, he was I thought he did a tremendous job at this draft. So.
Absolutely, man. Kudos. Mark, how'd you feel about my man Eli getting drafted, man?
Set single season school records for receiving yards and receptions. Whether he's a running back or slot, I don't really know. A 4.44 speed. Again, I'll go back to what can he do from a special team standpoint, because I'm not expecting him to play a huge role on the Steelers offense in 2026 if he even makes the team. But great moment. Pittsburgh ties. Love it. Great way to cap off the draft. I would love to continue this conversation because honestly, it was really cool. It was really, really cool. I hope that's not the sole highlight of his NFL career is what I would say. But there were so many other moments in this draft. If you guys want to get into that, whether it's Goodell related, I have a few other thoughts of everything that went on, but I don't want to step on if we still need to talk about Eli here.
Yeah, we're going to talk some Eli. Look, if y'all not going to talk Eli, I'm going to talk Eli just because I have a personal bias to Eli. All right. Shoot, Eli makes me feel, that was one of the first like high school players that I actually remember when I retired, Mark, and they had me going out to these like local high schools to pull up on them. Yeah, bro. I've seen this since like 2020, Feb. Yes, bro. Yeah, it's crazy. And we was just like, yo, he's the nice running back. He's going to Navy, though. He's like, oh, all right. And now here we are. And they're like, oh, my God, bro. It's crazy. Yes, man. So for me, I'm actually going to talk about the kid, all right? Because what you said was this, man. When you bring up the receiving ability or the running ability, right? That matters. If this was a perfect world in terms of development, man, what does that develop into? It'll be the Christian McCaffrey, right? That perfect dude that can route you up, but could also run that football. The problem is this. He was playing in that wing tee. In the wing tee, man, can you actually read this thing? And I think that's going to be the intrigue from my perspective come preseason. Man, where are they using you at? Because I don't know about y'all, but I do know that running backs that can catch the football can become mismatches. Heck, we seen Kenny G. We fell in love with Kenny G, not because he was necessarily running the football. It's because he was catching the football. Mark, what did you say he did at Navy? I forgot you said you because you do a great job of bringing them the stats.
School records, both receptions and receiving yards, all time. Yeah. Like think about how long they've been playing college football and swing tee, haha, funny, integrated football, but single season school records. Yeah.
So for me, if I'm once again in this draft, it's my last pick. Give me some intrigue. 4.44 speed. You got size on you. Heck, you're actually a good dude off the field as well as on the field. We know you're a Navy dude, so we appreciate that also. But to me, I think that's the interesting part. I want to see, man, special teams wise, all right, I know you can return this thing. Can you show the world you can, though? I want to also see what you're going to do in terms of would you go down there and make a tackle? Because if you can go do that, that adds more value because we're not talking about Caden. No, how'd you say his last name? Weejan, right? We're not talking about him ever going down there to make a tackle. We're not talking about that in that space. To me, Eli can go down there and make a tackle. The same way we brought up Connor Hayward, man, you're an officer, you're this, that. It's like, no. I would joke with Connor and say you're a football player. To me, that's what Eli is. You're going to be a football player. If you make this roster, that's how you make it. You're not making it because you're a running back because, heck, you heard what I talked about Caleb Johnson, right? Before Eli ever gets a touch, TaNeisha, Caleb Johnson will get 30 touches. All right, that's just the rule, right? So you're not going to get it on that way. You're going to make your hay on that special teams role. And I think that's the thing that I really took away with these back half of these picks. Mark, you hit it on the head with that also. if we feel as confident as we feel about our starters and our free agent pickups, special teams is where a lot of these dudes better make their hay. Otherwise,
Amen.
Why are they even on our roster? I know that's not sexy. I know people don't like that, but that's the reality of it. And it is just as important as that offensive line being able to block and that quarterback being able to throw. Heck, we don't make it into the postseason if it's not for special teams.
Yep.
So
That's
how I look at these things, man. Regardless if you're covering it, if you're kicking it, if you're trying to return it, if you're trying to block it, you better be locked in. You better have talent over there, man. So that's kind of how I look at this thing. But enough about Eli in this draft.
Yeah, it's yeah. I was just thinking too, the whole moment was amazing. My favorite though is when he put on his hat and he looked at himself and then he saluted. Something about that, like, I don't know, isn't that, I was like, this is so cool. Oh, and then when he did that, I was like, no, I love this. And then just watching him go on stage and then hyping the crowd, I was like, that moment, I mean, anybody that is like into athletics or anything, you dream of a moment where you can walk on stage because of your sport and hype up the crowd and have your moment and hug the commissioner. I mean, it was a great
TaNeisha,
great
we got to
moment.
take it further than that. We're talking about in the city where you grew up playing youth football. The team that you grew up watching your whole career, your favorite team, you get drafted not just by that team, but in that city, and you actually get to walk on the stage and hype up the crowd in your city. Come on, man. That is insane of a moment. Like, I don't know how you make it bigger than that. Heck yeah.
No. Yeah. Even if I don't, at this point, I don't care why. If they knew and they did it, even better. But if they didn't know and they did it, even like it just,
the fact that he was there shocked me. I was like, yo, is he really about to walk on the stage? Oh shit, he's there. What?
Well, they said on the
when have you ever
telecast
seen a
I was
seventh
listening
round
to. Well, they said on the one I was listening to that he wanted to go because he thought he would be able to go somewhere and he was hoping it was Pittsburgh.
Wow.
So he just decided to show up and they let him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Respect, man. Respect.
Like
I said, that's why I was going to talk my Eli. I had to talk Eli just because I've seen you in that Mount Lebo rocking at 8 and getting out the folk, bro. Yeah.
I have multiple text threads, and on one of them, it's like I did this multiple times, texting buddies of mine just saying, I love the NFL draft. Like it's just the best. It's just the best.
Like I said, man, that's one of the NFL's
the time, like day one.
I loved it. I loved it. It was fast.
Yeah,
it was quick, man.
Better.
I was done by what, 11, 15.
A little less than
Shout
3
out.
hours.
Yes.
Perfect. They finally got the TV down instead of it being like 6
Swear,
hours.
Man.
It's like, oh my gosh, like I'm falling asleep with my eyes open right now. That
was really refreshing.
Being real here.
That the only thing I wish is like, I don't know why we have to see the long and the whole walk. It's like, I feel like there's a part in there where it's like, we're seeing I would love to see, and then we have to see, I feel like they're showing us so much because we see their families, we see the interaction, we see them walk, we see them put their hat on, we see them touch as they go out, and then they walk out, and then they have their picture, and then they have, all of that is great. But then we get an interview, and then we continue, and then we show the footage. I'm like, what are like,
TaNeisha,
we have to see all of this?
Yes. This is a life's work. This is a life's accomplishment at this. Some of these dudes, you start this journey at 4 years old. You know how long it takes to start something at 4 to get on it. You know what I mean? Like, we look at the dude, Max, because he started in college. Think about it. We look at Max, we're like, hey, bro, you ain't started playing till he was 18. Like, yo, this is kind of weird, right? So, this is a big. Think about that. Like, what we talk about, bro, this is the only thing that you've been committed to, that you've locked. Like, yeah, man. So for maybe it's because the other side of yo, I ain't never get a chance to do that. So it was like, yo, when you know them dudes that it's like, yo, you respect the heck out of it. Cause it's like, bro, it's special. Not everybody gets to walk on that
I bet.
stage, man. No, you don't get to just walk on
No,
that
and
stage.
I want to see them on the stage. I want to see them on the stage. I don't need to see them put on a hat. I don't need to see them look at themselves in a mirror. Like all of that. We could take all that out. I don't need to see them walk down a tunnel. I love the stage. I love the commissioner hug. I love all of that. I don't need them to sign a card. Like some of the stuff is just like whatever. And I get it. It's production value. But yeah, it's just, yeah.
Well, Mark, where do you lay on this? Because clearly you can see with the audience right here. One side doesn't, one side does. Man, where was you at with it, man?
I mean, this is like for men what reality TV is for women. So it's just
Thank
like
you.
I want it all.
Thank you.
I want it
It's like,
all.
what are we
That's
talking
the
about,
problem.
man?
See,
You
and
better
I
show me
hate
all
reality
this.
TV. And I hate reality TV. That's
But
the
look,
problem.
and as a woman, you're in the minority,
Yeah.
right? We know for a fact that like all them housewives here, this is like, yo, y'all are like, not you, but y'all ladies.
Yeah, I'm like,
yeah,
just show
y'all are
me-
the
show
driving
me the
force
family,
behind
the
that, man.
reaction.
Yeah.
Let them get to the stage. Like that's kind of where I'm at. But
Yeah.
hey, they're going to continue to do it. And next year they're going to add a backflip to the back of it after they sign, and you know, we'll keep going.
Yes.
And then the year after that, they'll add like crawl, and then the backflip, and then the sign, and then
look,
like I got
Give
it.
me my floating stage
time
when
out.
we go
Time
back
out.
to Vegas. I
Question,
want the floating stage.
Y'all see how much these future CEOs of companies are getting paid, right? That's what we call these first round draft picks, future CEOs, because they come in and run the building. You see how much they get paid, right?
Mhm.
I'm just saying, is that if somebody won the lottery, we would, hey man, who won the lottery? Why do you win the lottery? What'd you do? Tell me everything. I want to know everything about you now. Why you do that? It's like, bro, hey man, these dudes getting 30s up front, 20s up front. It's like, yo, it's
No,
a
I mean,
big deal.
I mean,
at
it's
least for
one of-
us, it's like, yo, I want to see all that, man. How you tie your shoes today?
No, it
What-
is a big
what does
deal.
$30 million dude look like? Mark, how you tie your shoes when you get $30 million? Like,
Arthur,
what
do
did
you
you do? How'd
use-
you learn how to do that, bro?
Arthur, do you use the two rabbit ears or
look, maybe you just leave your laces hanging, all right? Maybe you don't even tie your shoes because you got $30 million. You don't got to tie your shoes with 30. Maybe you pay somebody to tell you shit $30 million. I don't know. Heck, I get jewelry ideas watching them dudes walk on stage. You know why? Because when you're getting $40 million up front, $20 million up front, you could have all the crazy. I'll be like, yo, where did that go? Oh, sweet. You don't see that though if you're just a regular dude. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, keep the camera on these dudes for as long as you can. Heck, I'm mad that they don't. TaNeisha, all them times you be telling me, I wish I could be a fly on the wall in the GM's room when they're going through the process and talking. No. You
Yeah.
can't have it both ways now. You cannot have it both
I do
ways.
wanna do
You
that.
need to be a fly on the wall when this first round he gets on that PJ, that private jet. He flies to talk to the coaching staff for the first time. Also, I want to see
Yeah,
all of
that's
that.
fine with me.
No,
Yeah,
but
none
you
of
try
that's
to pick and
recorded.
choose. No, but
Yeah,
once
but none
again,
of that's
put it all
recorded.
out.
I love
But
it.
if
That's
they
not-
did,
that's
but
not
if they
what-
did,
like-
but if they did, would you watch it? If they showed that
No.
first round of the first time he goes and talks to the GM, oh my God, yes, you would. TaNeisha.
No,
So
I
okay,
wouldn't.
fair enough. Then fair enough. All right. I respect
I
that.
don't. But I always say, but it's the same. I don't like a lot of fanfare. That I'm just not a fanfare person. Like even when the
I didn't
games
know that
are
was
on,
fanfare. We said
it
the
feels
actual
very
like
fanfare
the
to me.
conversations, the in depth, this is how I want to use you. This is what I see
oh,
in you.
if they ever showed us the real conversations, sure.
That's what I just
I wanna
said.
see
That is literally what I just
but
said, though. That's
Yeah,
literally what I'm
but
saying.
We're not
Yeah.
gonna get that. We're not going to get that though. We're going to
You
get
get that with hard
the-
knocks, though, to a degree.
Yeah,
They show you getting dudes get cut. If they show a
it's
dude
all
getting
a
cut, that
little-
is as real as it gets. They
Yeah,
show dudes getting
I mean, yeah,
fired.
but we're not seeing every single second of everything they did. They're only telling us it from their lens, and so like I can't really formulate my own opinion because I'm like, when did he do that? What play was that? Like I didn't see that play. So that's why for me it's like I don't know. But again, they're never going to take away that moment for them, which is fine. It's just when I'm watching, like every time somebody gets drafted, I watch them have their cry moment or act like they're not going to cry or act like they're not too happy because they're kind of mad or whatever. And then I usually just go do something. And then I come back to watch them walk on the stage because it takes so long for them to get there. But hey, they get to be, that's their moment. Oh, that is their moment. And I'm glad that they have their moment. So I always say, I don't have to like it, but it is what it is.
And look, I just love the duality of perspectives, man. I love this. Shout out to y'all, man. All right. In terms
I
of
have
you
a
and
few
Mark, like, yo.
observations.
Mark, are you okay?
I'm about to say, yo, you was like falling up, like, bro. I'm about to say, you drunk, bro? Long weekend, man.
The charger on my computer keeps falling out of the socket, and I don't want to all of a
Oh, you
sudden.
gotta get it in the
it's
hole.
like,
Keep it in there, man.
yeah,
Come on now.
Yep.
Keep it in there.
So make sure we stay powered on.
Yeah.
Mark Ingram being full heel for the Ravens was wonderful. And I love how he
I
just
love that.
literally made up his stats, being like, yeah,
Yep.
I dominated in my trips to Pittsburgh.
No, you
Josh
didn't.
Carney did some recon, so shout out to him. 2 trips to Pittsburgh with the Ravens, 19 carries, 44 yards, did have a touchdown in a 26-23 overtime win in 2019. 44 yards on 19 carries. Okay, Mark. And then he did not play in the 2020 matchup while on the COVID list. So loud and wrong on the stage. I like how he went full heel. He was a great player in his own right as an NFL player, but embracing the heel status. Loved that. I absolutely loved that.
Speaking of heel status, then how do we feel about my dog Joe Hayden coming out in full Browns attire?
Yeah, all of a sudden.
Man.
Yeah, bruh.
Really, Joe?
I'm like, Joe.
Yeah, I need you to
bruh.
Address that on
You
your
know
next
what that
episode.
is, though? And
Bruh.
I
My
say this,
Browns.
Bruh.
you know
Bruh.
what I say?
Bruh.
That is to generate for us to talk about here on a podcast because, and look, I respect this in the content game. He and James Harrison are trying to make a name for their own right on their show. So it's, when you pull a stunt like that, that's going to generate some headlines and generate some conversation. So like, okay, the adopted Yinzer in me is disgusted. The content mind in me, I actually applaud, in all honesty, from a content standpoint.
Nah, respect it. Respect. Shoot, man, they was out there amongst the people. I say, hey, bro, y'all grassroots and that thing. Y'all actually boots on the ground. Salute. All right.
Can we talk about a few other things with the drafts? I
Let's
thought
get
it
it,
was
man.
funny where the Cardinals at 3 didn't know what to do, so it's like we'll get Jeremiah Love, who might be the best player overall in the drafts. Tate going to 4 to the Titans, I think, is just a reaction because they didn't know what to do. I don't think anyone expected Tate. How in the heck does Arvell Reese fall to 5 to the Giants? And they have a bunch of studs now defensively. We talk about worst to first. The Giants have to be in that conversation. Jackson Dart gets back healthy. They get the tackle from Miami. But if the Giants had gone with Caleb Downs too, oh my gosh, that defense would have been terrifying. Downs going to the Cowboys, it was like, wow, Jerry Jones actually made a great pick. Like, I genuinely mean that. Sonny Styles at 7 to Washington. I like where he slots in there. KC trading up to get a corner with the departure of Trent McDuffie. TaNeisha, I know you mentioned that you liked what the Browns did. I want to give you space to further expand on that because I like what they did in the draft, but then when I look at their offense, I'm still just like, I don't understand how the Browns are expecting to be competitive in 2026. But what did you see with Cleveland? Because I just saw the headline. I actually want to hear what you had to say for what they did. I just saw the video.
They went and got a left tackle, which they need. So for me, the Browns, everybody can agree that their defense is stellar. I feel like we're all kind of like, okay, we'll give them that.
Good.
So that means they need to work on their offense. And so everything they did, in my mind, was working on that offense. They needed weapons at wide receiver because that was a little suspect. And Judy, bless his heart. But anyways, and so I thought they needed weapons on offense. And so they got that in those 2 rookie receivers. And then they got the tackle, which I thought was a really great move for them. The Taylon Green move, I just kind of like that they're trying to figure it out with quarterback. And then I believe they went, let me look, they went other offensive line play as well.
Austin Barber, Florida, got a safety in there.
And then I think they got one from Alabama, a center from Alabama.
Yep.
Like, I felt like what they were doing was looking exactly for what they need. And I believe out of the 10 picks, 8 of them were on offense. And so I just like when I feel like how I judge drafts is like when I think you have needs and you go get those needs and you're trying to figure out ways to make your team better based on those needs. I think they did that. I mean, their defense is their defense. It's going to be what it's going to be. They need to figure out a way to score points. They also need to figure out their quarterback. And they got another one too to add to the mix to say, hey, what if it's actually this guy? And the thing I like about Taylon Green is the coach just came from Baltimore with Lamar Jackson, and now he has a Taylon Green. We all can agree Taylon Green is hella athletic. I don't know what he's going to do. He probably can't hit, a wide open receiver if he tried, but if that's part of the development that he's going to do, he's definitely has the athleticism. So it's like, I just like when bad teams have options, like throw it all in there and try to figure it out from there. And so I just liked what they were doing. I liked that they were getting, I feel like they were on auto draft on fantasy football that said like take the best available, and they were just taking the best available. Like this has got to work. We need offense, best available. Who is it? And I feel like they got that. So that's what I appreciated with what they were doing.
The green pick's hilarious to me. The green pick is like
Barry Browns.
It's just like the dovetail and the icing on the cake of the Shador Gabriel a year ago, and then it's so funny too because they're trying to like. I'm trying to figure out how I can say this eloquently. They're trying to like make Watson where it's like he could return to form this coming year is essentially how they're trying to spin that narrative because it's like okay. Jerry Jeudy did need help. They needed to get somebody opposite Jerry Jeudy. He can't do it all by himself. I'm just like, I don't think they have the quarterbacks, but it's just like,
some people would say neither do we. I'm just saying, if you look at who signed to our roster right now, if you look at our roster right now and who signed, there's no Aaron Rodgers right now. And they actually have more experience in their quarterback room, minus Aaron Rodgers, obviously. They have more experience in their quarterback room than we have in ours.
Not for long, but I hear you. To me, Gabriel's the odd man out there, but it's just hilarious where he was a third-round pick a year ago, and they're already...
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, too. And then you add Taylor Green, who's a 6th-round draft pick. So you have a 3rd and a 5th from last year. Now you have a 6th-round draft pick. Mm-hmm. Athletically, though, Taylor Green is the most athletic person they have in that quarterback room. He's just athletic. There's nothing you can do about it. Mm-hmm. You can't hide it. Mm-hmm. But what does that mean? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. But again, it's not about, do I think that the Cleveland Browns are going to win the AFC North? I mean, that's not what I'm saying. Do I think the Browns are going to like be in the play? That's not what I'm saying. Like, what did they win last year? 3 games? Like maybe now they can, whatever. But yeah, I just think that they just did things that made sense to me in the draft.
Fano, the Utah tackle is to trade back and still get him at 9 was solid. Other thoughts, Ty Simpson going to the Rams. That's great for him in his career. It's hilarious that Sean McVay must not be a very good poker player because it's like he just seemed pissed.
He was pissed. He was so pissed that he's been on like 3 telecasts trying to tell people he wasn't upset. I'm like, bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh.
I think it's great for Ty Simpson in his career. But then also, like, it's like, I think he was legitimately pissed. I do think the way I would try to sell it, if I were him, I'd be like, look, like, Matt Stafford's my boy. And it's like, look, they vacationed together even before they started working together. Of how that came to be Stafford going from Detroit to LA. So I get that maybe he needs to stump for Stafford because Stafford's like in his late 30s now. And how many more cracks at it are you going to get? So that might be an element of it. But it's good for Ty Simpson in his career and his development because if he's going to amount to anything in the league, you can't do it with Sean McVay. I really don't know where you could do it. I like that. I told both of you Ruben Bain would slide a bit going to Tampa. Good pick by them. I mean that I have a few other. I don't want to get too far in the weeds, but those were just some of my thoughts in the first round of.
TaNeisha, how'd you feel Ty Simpson going when he went, man?
I was shocked, yeah, and then same. I thought he's probably not going to play, so it kind of makes sense. Like, I mean, if you have that luxury, right? That is the luxury. Is if you have your guy, go get the guy that you want to replace him, and you don't need that production right now. I mean, I wouldn't have done it, but yeah, I was shocked though when I saw his name. I was actually like, wow, okay. And again, I also wonder because it got a little weird there, like at the beginning, like the Chiefs trading, like. And then it just kind of got a little weird. And I feel like it got weird when Love got taken.
Yep.
Because then it reset. It's like everyone was like, wait a minute. So Love goes, then Tate goes. And now I remember sitting at home going like, is everyone just going to start reaching for players? Is that like, that's how it felt to me. And then I think at that moment, then the Chiefs made a trade. It was just like everyone, like, And then they go get the guy. I don't even remember the guy from LSU. I don't know if I would have done that. Either,
was it Mansour? Yeah.
Mansour Delane,
yeah. So it was. So I feel like, but again, that's what happened. That's the excitement of the draft. It's like it takes the one thing, and then everyone is like, okay, well, what does that mean for me at pick 15, 17? And it got a little weird. And the Cowboys, I thought, did a really good job drafting in the first round. I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was shocked that they did a good job.
I really thought Jerry was going to pass on the pick, and I'm like, man, Caleb Downs is going to wind up on the Ravens. Like, that's what was going through my mind. No, in all seriousness, I'm like, Jerry made a good pick. He made a good pick. How Reese went to the Giants at 5 is crazy to me. Yeah. Like, that's legitimately like, I think that he should have gone to the Jets.
Pick.
Yeah.
But I think
the love pick kind of threw all that off.
Yeah. Because I think the Titans.
But do you fault the pick, though? If you're the Cardinals? James Conner's coming back from the leg situation. Mm-hmm. You got whatever your deal is at quarterback, right?
Do I fault the pick if I'm the Cardinals today? Yes, because I don't believe you can build a team off of a running back. And having that third pick in the draft is a very high pick, and I think they could have gotten something better. But I am not a Cardinals fan, and I will be lying if I sat up here and said I know everything they need and all their stats. So even though still, I don't know if I would want to pick that high a running back. But again, this is me talking, not really knowing the Cardinal, not really knowing who they got and what they got. And I never expected them to do it. So I didn't even research it because I was like, they're not going to do that, right? Are they going to do that? And then they did.
But we saw Jeremiah mock this high as what? 4 right to the Titans.
I thought he was going to the Titans for sure. I thought he was going to the Titans.
And the Titans is it that big of a difference though between?
Well, to me, yes, because the Titans have their quarterback, and the Titans built their offensive line last offseason.
Okay.
And they were struggling. Again, I didn't say it was good, but it was better than it was last season.
No, I'm with you. I was just thinking, like, what's the difference though for Cardinals purposes if they end up drafting a quarterback next year versus like how Cam Ward was last year and then you was drafting. It's like, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Because if next year, we're all saying next year's quarterback class supposed to be like all world and everything, right?
Well, maybe that's
why. And if you're going out there with no quarterback situation, also that's how I was thinking of. Like,
that's probably why the Rams.
Piece.
That's why the Rams did what they did at 13 with Ty Simpson. And I'm just like, part of me though,
they won't have a pick early next year.
Yeah, that's my logic. But at the same time too, I'm like, okay, whenever Stafford hangs it up, like, do you guys remember the rumors about McVay of like, oh, is he going to go to Amazon and then become a broadcaster? Mm-hmm. When Stafford hangs it up, like, does he even want to stick around to see what Ty Simpson has, or is he just going to be like, won my Super Bowl, I'm out, it's been real, it's been
if
real.
If you would have asked me that on Friday or Thursday, I would have said he's leaving as soon as Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
His face, I don't know. There's some people who just can. I'm one of those people too. There's certain people that like you can tell when they're pissed. You could just tell. It doesn't matter what they say to you. It's like, no, I can tell.
The
just
phone call that they had with Simpson, he says, "Let's go make history, coach." And like, look, it's an awesome moment to get drafted, first round pick and everything. But it's like the words that were coming out of his mouth and his facial expression were just two different things.
Yeah, and then he's done 3 or 4 interviews since.
I think about Stafford is almost like how Rodgers was at the end of his Green Bay run. I'm trying to think of other examples of this, of where it's like, give me every single opportunity to make one last crack at it, to give it a go, to go win a Super Bowl. And I don't want to say waste a pick, because Ty Simpson could develop into a fine NFL player. But to spend a pick on that, I get what the Rams have to do, though, because Stafford's 38. Yep. And he hasn't exactly been – like, Stafford is a tough quarterback, but he has battled injuries throughout his career as well. So I don't fault the Rams for what they did.
Stafford's gonna go down, can't play a play. Ty Simpson's going to come in and win the game for him.
I don't wish injury upon anyone, but I hear you, TaNeisha. I hear you. Heard.
It's going to be some weird, like,
I was just going to say, what about Jordan Love? It could be a Jordan Love scenario, right? It don't have to be somebody getting hurt. It's just literally be that, man. So That's kind of
Yeah.
how I look
And-
at it.
and-
It depends.
and to that
you were
point-
talking about the injuries. That's why I'm like,
But to that point too, look at how much Jordan Love got paid. I mean, whether he's all world or not, okay, but he's as highly paid as any quarterback in the league and plays at a high level. He does. So
Look, I know we all be feeling like, man, if they're not like proven perfect, and then it's like, don't mess with them. But at the same time, it's like, yo, if you feel like, man, that's a quarterback that you like, and you think that he gives you at least a pathway to what you're trying to get to, man, go get that dude, because you do not know when it's going to come back around, if it ever does come back around. Shoot, we look at some of these teams, it's like, man, they've spent as much as they want to spend. It ain't worked that way. They've drafted over and over again, and they still haven't figured that thing out just yet. So that's the reason why I couldn't fault it. And I do like it for Ty Simpson, though. As a whole, man, I love young quarterbacks to come here and sit. If you come and sit, man, great. We don't like the ones that can sit because those aren't the first rounders. Those are the ones that are projects, the ones you got to develop. So it's like, man, if you got to do that, we do feel like is talented. We all said when we did that last year, like, yo, man, Ty, he's up and down. He either looks elite at sometimes, and it's like not so elite, right?
I do want to say this though with Stafford, just his arm strength and his wizardry and the no look throws. I even think Geezer Stafford is just in terms of just throwing the football. I'm just talking about throwing the football. Even Geezer Stafford is light years ahead of Ty Simpson. I'm sorry to say that, but
Geezer Stafford,
but
like
Stafford
I'm with you on that.
But you say that. I get that, but I'm like, we say that as if Stafford isn't a top 10 quarterback in the NFL currently. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want us to shoot at Ty just for the sake of like shoot. I was like, bro, Stafford's eating old Geezer. Stafford's better than a lot of active quarterbacks. Heck, he was better than our old Geezer quarterback, right? 100%. If we go hold on, I'm like, yeah, bro.
yeah. At first, I was like, wait, Geezer, what are you like? Yeah, no, 100%. And I also feel like it's super like. It's one of those things where it's like, if you have the luxury, then why not? It's just like having a savings account. If you have the extra money, throw it in your savings account. They literally had the extra money and they threw it in their savings account. And maybe you have to splurge on that, and maybe you have to drain that savings account, and maybe you don't. Maybe you can continue to build on it. And that's what they're doing. And that's why, but that's the fun of this, where it's like, who's picking these picks, right? Is it the GM? Is it the head coach? And who did y'all talk? Did y'all collaborate? And did somebody just finally say, just go do whatever you want? And then they did the thing. And now, but like, that is also a part of this game where it's like, we're all talking, you don't know what's going to happen. You honestly just do not know what's going to happen. Your goal is just to be ready.
I mean, it's funny to a degree though, the McVay, at least how it's coming off, how much different is that than when we looked a year ago at Cleveland with the Shador thing? And they're like, yo, who was a part of this pick? Because your face looked like this when it was Dylan, then you looked like this when it was Shador. It's like, I know because it was McVay, and it's times like, but is that not the exact? It's like, it seems as if they all weren't on the same page. Both organizations. Yeah.
I think too, it's just weird seeing it from the Rams. I think that because if that was like anybody else, like
sure,
you know what I mean. Yeah. It would have been. It's weird seeing it from the Rams, probably like the Chiefs, and maybe like the Eagles. Like there's certain organizations where you're like, they're on the same page, right? They're perfect, right? And then when you see something and you're like, I didn't expect that coming from this group, but
TaNeisha, that's a great point. That's a great
point.
Anyways,
a few other things. I loved when Mike Greenberg apologized for this. He thought Denzel Boston was the son of David Boston.
He did.
Hilarious.
Yeah. That was on the NFL Network. Before they started arguing.
Michael Keaton making it in one of the draft picks as well. Pittsburgh ties. Loved that.
Batman. Come on, man.
Was from Batman?
Batman. Yeah. OG Batman right there. Yes. Yes.
I didn't know that's who that was.
With Jack. Yes. With Jack. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yep, OG right there.
I liked how they've got some sort of, I don't know if this is like a draft day remake. So Goodell went up on the stage and announced Ohio State quarterback Connor Rorick is the Cleveland Browns' first draft pick. And the crowd reacted for some sort of unscripted production in Hollywood. I don't know about either of you. The Kevin Costner movie Draft Day, I love that movie. It's so bad it's good. It's like
So bad, it's good.
I don't know if either of you have seen it, but anyways, but if
No,
there's draft
salute.
day, if there's draft day 2, I just hope that I'll put it this way: I hope Jennifer Garner can reprise her role in that film franchise. We'll put that.
There it is.
Yeah.
It is. I like it. Let's go. What else, man? What you got? Anything else you have for us, Mark, man? Because you, hey, look, I'm liking how you giving us the. Hey, yo, what about that? What about that? What you got? What you got?
Honestly, this is my half baked. I want to go see if there's like a bale of hay throwing competition. I want to see where I stack up compared to Jennings Dunker. Dunk City, the Mullet Mauler. I don't know if there's something we could do with the Ginger Flow as well.
Oh,
we need a nickname for him. If you're watching this episode, in the comments, leave what we need to nickname Jennings Dunker.
There it is.
Make sure you've liked and subscribed to this channel. But I want to know, like, we need a nickname for him, and one that will stick, and that one that when we say the nickname, we all know who we're talking about.
Yes.
But that's what I want to do, honestly. Like, I got one other thing. So I live in the state of North Carolina. A lot was brought in when Bill Belichick got brought in. He brought in Michael Lombardi as his general manager, and they made this big deal about being the 33rd NFL team. How about a goose egg for the Tar Heels? 0 UNC draft picks. 0. This is the first time that has happened since 2016. You could say UNC's a basketball school, which it is, but they didn't have any draft picks for the first time since 2016. Bill Belichick and the North Carolina Tar Heels, year 2, 2026. See what they can do. But yeah, that's...
Yeah, I was going to say, definitely not great. Definitely not great. Yep.
Yeah, that's not great. Yeah.
Oh. So that's really what I had. In all honesty,
I like that.
It was,
yeah.
I got some thoughts I'll share off the air with you about draft day, but that's I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Anyways,
There it is, dude. All right. Well, look, on the back end of this thing, TaNeisha, what you got for us? Because I just looked at the clock. I said, ooh. And look, we might have been a little passionate in here today, all right? But it'd be like that sometimes. It'd be like that. All right.
I don't really have anything. I mean, it's nice that this has happened, and I love the draft. I'm such a nerd. I'm like, what's happening? Oh, what's happening on this channel? And so just the setup and just watching it being in Pittsburgh was super amazing. And then the other thing is too, that's cool, is now the players it doesn't matter what anybody has ever said about them. They now get to go out there and prove it, and they get to show up, and they get to do their part of this. And that's what I feel like is the complete circle. We get to all have these opinions, we get to whatever, and now they get to go put in the work. And I love that this is the process. Like, this is the process, and I love seeing that. And I'm just going to say it here because I have to. I miss Mike Tomlin this weekend, and I don't care if anybody doesn't like it. I missed him in the press conference, and this is our first thing where I'm like, right. Okay, right. And so I just needed to say that out loud so that I can get my feelings out, because I'm all about feelings. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Let's go. What about you, Mark? What you got, baby?
I'm a little bit sad this has come and gone, and this was an awesome weekend. Like, just seeing the city of Pittsburgh packed, broke records for attendance. Arthur, you did a great job of just painting a picture for everyone in terms of what it was like to be in the city. And I'm a little bit bittersweet this is done and over with, but May 1, you decide on the fifth-year options for your 2023 first-round draft picks. You get into OTAs, mini camps, and training camp's going to be here before we know it. And then maybe, just maybe, in the coming weeks, we'll find out about Aaron Rodgers, if it's going to be on the McAfee show or if he's going to pull into try to take the secret gate into the Steelers facility. How that's going to go down. When we get into the dog days of summer, when they used to put the chopper up following Brett Favre around, it's kind of the same thing. It makes for a great TV event. So I'm excited about all of that. The draft, it's always bittersweet because it's one of my favorite things every single year.
Oh,
and just the weirdness, the zaniness, and the chaos of it is just something that I can't get enough of.
I like it, baby. I like it. Well, shoot, man. Shout out to everybody that I got the chance to run into, man. Y'all was showing love, and I showed love back. Draft was an absolute blast. Shout out to the city showing up the way that they did. But yes, we're just getting closer and closer to real football. And that's what I love the most. So shout out to that, man. But we will see how these new NFL babies perform, man. So shout out to everybody that's now officially part of the fraternity, man, the family. Not everybody gets to be a part of this thing, man. So do whatever you gotta do to stay a part of it as long as you want to, all right? Because it's very easy to be on the other end of that thing, man, where you're just looking and talking about it versus actually living it, man. So please, guys, pretty please. But we shall see, man. But with that being the case, man, y'all hit that like button one ton for the culture. Don't forget to subscribe either if you are new to the channel. Y'all stay safe out there. And we appreciate you. But until next time, baby. Peace.
Bye.